Welcome, guys. Welcome. This is the finals of the 3v3 jail tournament. I am excited. Alright, so we have most of the players here. Yeah, we have most of the players here. We're waiting. We're waiting for Hazza's team for Total Chaos to get here, and we are waiting on. Who's the player for? We're waiting on Gene Ralphio to get here. Gene Ralphio should be here any moment. Total Chaos should be here soon. He responded on Discord, but is not here yet. We're gonna try to do the map and Civ bans and picks really quickly. I really wanted it to be done earlier, but the players didn't come earlier, so it is what it is. But yeah, we're gonna get into it really shortly. For anyone interested, a huge shout out to ESOC. There was a match scheduled at 16 GMT for them, and they decided to move it so that there wasn't a conflict of schedules between this tournament and ESOC. I tried to move it previously, but the players were not able to. With having 6 different players in a game, it was hard to coordinate a really good time, living all around the world and whatnot. So yeah, huge shout out to them. They have a game finishing in just a bit. It is pretty close to being over, and then they're gonna host this channel, and then I'm gonna host them when we're done with this. Best of 5 for the 3v3 finals between Team Hazza and Hot Girl. If you guys have any questions about anything, go ahead and ask away. Welcome, guys. Welcome. This is the final.
Yes.
So Nepal is banned first. Interesting. Alright, we got all the players here. Alright, I am gonna mute the music and yeah, this should be really good. So the first map banned is Nepal, and let me get on to the rest. Hey Mythit Pasha,
Yes.
how's it going? Alright, so the map pool, I expect possibly DACA to be banned unless Hot Girls team has a specific strategy for it. Um, nice. Glad you did that. It could be a longer one. It's a best of 5, and it is okay. Grand Chaco. All right. So Nepal and Grand Chaco. Civ bans now. Hazza team first. All right. So we have. Yeah. So we have Nepal and Grand Chaco as the bans. I'm gonna get ready for the map to be picked. I'm gonna roll it now and not reveal, or maybe I'll just. I haven't even looked at it. I'll just roll it for you guys when we get to it. But yeah, Jill picks the lowest player and he must ban first. All right, so Portuguese banned. All right, so Portuguese banned from the girls. The grills. They are not able to play Portuguese this whole match. And we also have Nepal and Gran Chaco banned. There's not going to be any of that going on either. So Hazza's team is, Hot Girls team. Let them do that.
Yes.
Hey Black Duke, how's it going? Japan banned. All right. Portuguese banned for the grills, and their team cannot play Portuguese. The map, I'm going to do this for you guys real quick. The map that is going to be randomly selected is Iowa. Hey, Vividly. Yeah, it could be. It could be. DACA's probably going to be played. It might not be, but it is in the map pool still, and 5 out of the 6 possible. It's possible that 5 out of the 6 maps left will be played. Hikasuko, how's it going? Hey Tokugawa, hey. Good to see all y'all here. Deck Black. So if you are just joining, this is the 3v3 finals of the 3v3 jail tournament finals. It is between Team Hazza and Samurai is amazing versus Lancer. Yes. It is between Team Hazza and the Grills. We have really this should be a pretty good match. Germany is picked first by Team Hazza. Iowa is the first map. The Portuguese. Hey, Isak, thanks for the raid. Appreciate it, guys. If you're just joining us, this is the 3v3 jail tournament finals. It is one of the most prominently public official 3v3s ever in the history of AoE 3. So I'm excited for it. This is the finals between Team Hazza Uh, Currently, they have a sub they could use, but Team Hazza it consists of Hazza, Axeman, and Total Chaos versus Ironic Virus, Hot Girl, and Jean Rafio for the grills. We have the map. The maps already banned were Nepal and Gran Chaco, and then the Civs ban. The Civ bans was ports. The grills cannot play ports, and Team Hazza cannot play Japan. Thanks for the follow, Puasar. I appreciate it. Hey, kill it right. Yeah, I have a delay too. Yep. A 2-minute delay just helps everyone out. So the current civs picked up for Team Hazza is German and Dutch. On the other side, it's just French. Yeah. Yep. Hey, Standard Offer. I'm glad you look similar to me. Let me get the display capture off for you guys. Yeah, appreciate the host, guys. For your information, a huge shout out to ESOC. I've been working really closely with them. If you have been watching ESOC recently, I'm pretty sure you've seen me cast a game or two. And Bramboy specifically, huge supporter. Oh my gosh. All right. So, anyways, so yeah, huge supporter. I appreciate Bramboy a lot. They moved a match from 16 GMT to 20 GMT specifically for the 3v3 finals here, and just huge shout out to them. We appreciate them a whole lot. We will be casting the game at 20 GMT. I probably will be doing it too. Uh, hey guys. All right, so we are waiting for ESO to get back up. Hopefully it won't be too long. I'm going to restart it real quick, make sure that it is good to go. And just for everyone's information, we do have the map pool is, let me read it off to you guys. The map pool is here. It is here, one sec. The map pool is Fraser River, Cascade Range, Dhaka, Malaysia, Nepal, Iowa, and Gran Chaco. Gran Chaco and Nepal were banned out. Iowa is the first map. We have Germany and Dutch, I think, picked up as the first civs for Team Hazza. And for for the Grills team, it is France and here, come on. How are the teams decided, Sir Callan? The teams were decided for the 3v3 jail tournament specifically. There were the top 16. I actually think it was. I was intending it to be 16 teams, but 10 to 12 players, and yeah, it was draft. Always make me laugh awkwardly. Gene is Gibson. Gene Rafio. I am not 100% positive. The Civ picking rules. All right, here, let me show you guys this since, well, we're waiting on ESO anyways. I'm going to go to display capture so you guys can see the rules. This is how the tournament format is done, and the civs are picked. So I'll let you guys read that. Yeah, server down. It's a shame. Let me check this real quick. All right, so these are the tournament rules right here. Basically, in short, there are 2 maps that are banned, and then there is 2 civs that are banned for the whole match. Neither team can play either one. And then you ban it for only the opponents. You don't ban it for yourself. and then it's a one team. Say Team A. Team A picks a civ. Team B picks a civ. Team A, Team B, Team A, Team B. And then for the second game, whoever loses the first game is going to pick civ first, and the team that won is going to pick map first. All right. Let's see if it's back up. Hope it is. Yeah, they did, Keister. Just a lot of. I'm amazed at Bramboy's support, ESOC support. To be honest, we all of us, both ESOC and me, is really we care a lot about the ESO community and making sure that everything we just really want it to grow. So we're doing everything we can to help it grow and be more professional and all of that. Usually it's not down for long. Standard for it's usually just a couple minutes. I'm honestly surprised it's not back up quite yet, but yeah, it shouldn't be long. All right, it is back up. All right. All right. Yeah, looking good for us. Let me check some of this real quick. Yeah, Harrison, you can co-cast. I will jump. Yeah, I'm gonna call you. I think that's the best way. Uh, main event at 20 GMT. I will wait for you to respond. Whoa, whoa. Is it down again? I sure hope it's not. Yay. Alright, so let me. Alright, there is the stream going on in the background. Harrison, how's it going?
Good afternoon, Jill. Not too bad, not too bad. Had a very entertaining series on ESOC TV there. A good matchup between two brigadiers, Samwise, Neutral Bear, 3-2 results. But now I'm up for a bit of a difference. There's been many 1v1 games. When I last co-casted with you for the 3v3s, I actually had a pretty fun time doing it. So I thought, you know what, I'll come back for again to help you out with the finals. And I'm looking forward to the show. And I know you're very excited for the finals.
Dude, I am. I'm so excited. I'm glad I was able to get sleep last night. The last 3v3 tournament I did, it went really well, and the finals. I mean, parts of it went really well. Definitely room for improvement. It was the first one ever, and I didn't get like any sleep the night before before the finals. It was so rough. I was so excited.
But did you say that like the last time you did something similar to this, you had a you were streaming like 7-hour days, 8-hour days, just continuously casting tournament game after tournament game, and I've just done a 2-hour series of 1v1s, and I'm happy to be doing co-casting, but not solo casting. You've got stamina, which mere mortals will be jealous of.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I got something like 2 hours or something of sleep, and then I did an 8-hour cast immediately afterwards. It was so rough. Yeah. All right, so I was trying to get the Civ and the map bans done prior to the game, but I can't predict the ESO being down, so it's rough, but is what it is.
It's okay. We could have the all the team players hop into this chat and have a 10 person call and do it via by voice. You got it going in background on the official communication on your channel while ESO's down?
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah. Yep. All right. Let me jump into chat with them. Then you can join also if you would like. You have that up, right?
Yeah, I can see where it is. I mean, I can hop in, but
Right.
I'll probably just sat there listening though. So I'll leave you to carry it on. I'll come back when you're ready to start the game.
All right. Sounds good.
What like a functioning adult would like say.
Functioning adult.
Hey guys, JaiLeD is here, so maybe we shouldn't smack talk people on.
Well,
That's a good
I'm
idea.
streaming as well, so.
Oh. Hazza's not giving a fuck.
All
I'll
right.
leave.
Yeah.
Good luck, guys.
Later, right?
Cheers.
All right, guys. So, where were we with Civ bans? Or Civ picks? Sorry.
We're done.
We're done.
done.
Yeah.
Okay, we're done. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Just waiting for this servers to.
Is
Come
there anything
back.
else we need to ban as well? Like, there was like Civ map.
We already
was it?
we already
It's
did the
just
map
like
and
getting
Civ
to
bans.
we just pick again, but obviously.
Can you
Yeah.
can you let me know what the civs are? One of you guys message in chat and so we can talk about it.
Okay,
I
can.
Okay, yeah, those back.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
Hopefully for good.
I'll text you, JaiLeD, in private.
All right. Appreciate it. Catch you guys
All right,
later.
I'll
All right,
see ya.
see you, man.
Oh wait, JaiLeD, can you put us in like the private thingy?
Yeah, I can do that.
Let's see.
Yeah.
What's our last?
I mean, you could just ask me to leave.
I got it. It's fine. It's also
Oh,
so that
okay.
other people don't other people
randomly
don't mess with
join.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Catch you later. You can
All right,
get in a
see
call
ya.
with your mates. Bye.
Yeah, we'll see you.
All right, I am back. All right, so they have already picked the civs outside of the game. The ESO is back up. We are getting into it. I am sorry, guys, for ESO being down. I'm not really gonna apologize for that. It's not my fault, but I'm sorry for the viewers and whatnot. Is what it is.
I was about to say like on some studios online is not a thing anymore. You can't apologize on behalf of nobody, and it's one of those things we have all lived to accept. We wake up every day, we get on our knees, we pray to our mighty Lord Garja for giving us a good day of servers, and thankfully it was only briefly, and we should be able to hop into games very, very soon afterwards.
Yeah, they have all the maps were banned, the civs were banned, the map was selected, and all the civs were picked. So we're good to go. We're just waiting on everything to be back up. I'm gonna tell them to open up an 8th slot for you.
Eight player Age of Empire 3 game hype going on. Right, I will just quickly get a glass of water before we begin and close my windows. I was just
Sounds
getting a
good.
little bit hot after that.
Yeah,
Previous
I hear
casting,
you.
But ready to go again.
Yep. I'll be back just a millisecond myself, making sure that AC's on a good thing myself. All right, so I am back. Rip.
Don't forget my name.
No. Not there is one of the players. We were just in a game where we were just all in the game together, and then one of the players is getting a failed to join.
Oh, that's a shame. Probably the best way to I don't know, get over that is that everyone to restart the game and have another host up. But it's not like the players before have not been able to join up. So well, I've had a few issues where sometimes it's taking like 3 or 4 attempts just between 3 players, but you can get around it. Eventually it will join up, and then once everyone's connected, it's like, yes, we can actually get on with the show.
Yeah. All right, it is open for you to join.
Oh no, I got failed to join. Messing.
All right, we are in it. So we have Brits, Dutch, and Germany on Iowa versus Dutch, India, and France. Interesting. So right off the bat, I would say that Team Hazza having Brits, they probably have the boom advantage, while it's actually fairly close when it comes to rushing advantage. Dutch, India, and France are all pretty decent. Germany is pretty good in age. They're not amazing in age 2, but they are able to get a lot of units out right away. Should be interesting. I'll introduce the teams real quick. This is the 3v3 JAILED tournament finals between the team Hazza and the Grills. We have it should be a really good match. This is the finals, and both teams have made it here. They have gone through several other teams in doing so. We have Hazza, Axeman, and Total Chaos in British, Dutch, and Germany versus Hot Girl, Jean Ralphio, and Ironic Virus in Dutch, India, and France. This is JAILED casting, Harrison co-casting, and this should be a really good game.
Don't worry, you still have another minute of pre-game amble. One of the players here, I believe it's Hot Girl, has a very, very slow PC and did request that we did not record the game because then he said it would probably take him an hour to load in. Even Hazza's like, so what's cracking on here? We're going to get a show on the road, and like I imagine all the players right now are feeling pretty tense. So Hot Girl is slowing the game down. Bob is stuck in the launching game, and Total Chaos, also known as Bob Abu, to some of the players who've been watching ESOC for the last 3, 4, 5 years. He's been a player who's been around. I think I saw in the loading lobby, currently ranked as captain. Was major beforehand, but it feels weird. A team of Hazza accompanied by 2 captains. Bit of a skill difference between the 2 players and the leader of this team.
Yeah, we did have a draft, and being that he was the highest seed, if you will, he was the last one to pick in the draft. That's how the teams were decided. It looks like we're getting the game starting. Hopefully it's not going to lag too much. I did let the players know if it does lag pretty bad. I think this just if it does lag pretty bad, then wait, who needs a pause? the lag.
Sounds like somebody hasn't hotkeyed their pause button. I can remember when I used to play 3v3 when I was like when I first got into it, I'm like, where is this pause key? But I've actually remapped it to something very easy to remember. But hopefully it's just starting out lag. It's not too bad once the actual game gets going, and surely it shouldn't be too bad as a standard 4v4 game, which I've seen you been streaming and playing quite a lot recently. And I guess this is just 3v3 though, so it shouldn't be as boomy as a 4v4.
Yeah, the difference between
here.
Yeah, the difference between the 3v3 and 4v4 is actually fairly significant. In a 4v4, it's fairly possible to defend defend basically 3v4, and for one player to boom it out, and then the team that has boomed it out, that player's gonna have such an advantage, and it's gonna just be crazy. Yeah, in a 3v3 though, it's a lot harder to defend a 2v3. You see definitely more rushing and the like.
So Bobabu needed a break at the start of the game. John Raphael was also beat right back, and what is it with players loading in, then thinking, oh, hang on a minute, I need to quickly go off and wash my car, I need to make the dinner, I need to do the gardening, mow the lawn.
Yeah,
shouldn't take too long.
I don't know what it is. It gets aggravating at some points. Jean Ralphio, I know he 5 minutes before the match he got home. I don't know where he was. So perhaps I don't know, just had to do something real quick. But yeah.
Well, he was moving house, wasn't he? So I don't know if he's in his new house or old house, but
Yeah, he did just move. He moved and he got into his new house. I believe it was Friday or something. It was really recently, and Yeah, what we can talk about the civs real quick. It is Brits, Dutch, and Germany. What I expect in Age 2 is cavalry, skirms, and muskets. It could be something different though. You never know. And on the other hand, we have Dutch, India, and France. Probably something like skirms, sepoy, and cav to start it off. This is a very open map. There's 3 trade posts, 4 natives. The natives are Inca and Lakota. Very strong natives, some of the best natives in the game, really. And then 3 trade posts. A little bit, not a whole lot of trade posts for a 3v3, but it should be really interesting, and I'm excited for this game.
So we finally get off the starters guns orders and we begin this 3v3 marathon. So sit back, grab a drink, and enjoy what's about to happen. Age 1 though, not too much difference compared to standard 1v1 Age 1. We do see John Raphael playing as the Indians, getting an early trading post on the trading line, and seems to be the only player so far reaching out for this middle trading line. Did you see what crate start it was for most players?
I didn't. I think it must have been either wood or food.
Yeah, no, so it was a wood crate start because we do see Ironic Virus as well, the French player, dropping down an early trading post as the French civ, and you can only redo that on a wood crate start, and judging by the remainder of his food, I want to say it was just a single food, not a food and... There's a single wood, not a food and wood. House going down for Ironic Virus as well. We do see Hawk Girl playing as the Dutch, going for a very early market as well. Maybe just playing super boomy as a 3v3 game and going for the early market and hunting dogs. A couple villagers mining to continue his villager production. Scouts out with his envoy. Scouts a 100 food treasure, so that'd be quite nice for somebody else to pick it up. But it's really far away from the rest of the explorers. Currently working together for 90 food. Ironic Virus picking that treasure up. Scouting Iroquois Tomahawk. So that's what Team Hawk Girl is up to, taking a 2-1 TP advantage. Bobby Boo, Toto Chaos playing as the Germans, going for the middle trading post. Hard to defend, but has a single house and an agent behind this. And I think business as usual for the other remaining civs. We do see Axeman, single house, no early markets. I'm not too sure how I feel about the early market, but we'll see if it will pay off in this game by Hawk Girl. And finally, Hazza, 2 manor houses, Age 1 Brits on that wood crate start, but no other additional greed from Hazza. Just wants him to get up to Age 1 at a standard time and then play from there.
Yeah, I think perhaps it was a 100 wood, 100 food start due to India starting with 200 food. Either way, it was pretty close. It is really interesting that Hawk Girl has gone with the market as Dutch. Not expected by any means. It's not something I definitely would ever expect. But Hawk Girl knows what he's doing. Definitely boomy. I would expect banks out before market, or at least a couple banks. But that's what he's doing. I'm sure he knows what he's doing. I see that absolutely says he's going to donate $20 if Hawk Girl's team wins, and yeah, that'd be amazing. It's really close. Hawk Girl has not dropped a single game in the whole tournament, while Team Hazza has dropped one versus my team specifically. So it should be pretty exciting. It should be pretty close. And we see a little bit of fighting between the explorers over here. A little bit of Age 1 map control, if you will. We do see the villager from Jean Ralphio coming forward. Looks like he will be building an Agra. So we know it's going to be an aggro start from him.
But being blocked by Bobabu here, and for a captain gameplay, this is great. And even Ironic Virus, okay, same team as John Raphael, nearly blocked his own teammate's aggro. But look at this, Cherokee Rifleman and 3 explorers just laying down the hurt on this villager. And this villager just needs to run away. Forget the extra 10-second age up here. You need to get out of here. That villager is going down. You do not want to lose it. Even sending more villagers forward to try and help this. And this villager... losing it this early is actually huge.
Yeah, for sure. He should have started the Agra and then ran away with it right away, I think. But he wants to get that Agra up quickly. This other villager is fighting and not building the Agra. Perhaps a bit of a mistake. I'm glad he was able to get the Agra down at all, to be honest. If microed really well, sometimes the explorers can completely deny it ever being built in the first place. Looks like that villager is running away. He may just get away. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, he stops. Oh, but is he going to make it? I don't think he will, but it depends on the micro.
It's a shame because he also has 2 elephant monks at full HP and 2 tomahawks as well. So it's not like the Indian player didn't have an army to back this up, but this villager on 5 HP being chased by Hazza. Hazza, very good with his micro. He will not let this villager live any longer than it really should do. 2 HP remaining. 1 more shot from the Explorer will be able to finish it off, and it's 2 Explorers chasing it. Looking a bit laggy here, but
Yeah.
John Raphael losing 2 vills early on. That's brutal.
It's very, very brutal. Reading the chat, you guys asked the. Okay, I can remove the donation bar for you guys, or move it down perhaps a bit. Additionally, you're asking what the basement tour is. The basement tour is just some of my chat has been wanting to see the here, let me get this for you guys. Some of the chat has been wanting to see the what my house is like. I am a carpenter and I have built a lot of the furniture in my house, remodeled a lot of it. So that's what it is. Enough of that though. Back to the game. Yeah, losing 2 vills early as India, that's really rough. I mean, as any civilization, that's rough. But India specifically, you need to have enough villagers gathering from the wood, and that is, it's just so rough. I mean, India, man, they're so far behind already just because of that, in my opinion.
Yeah, he aged up at 5 minutes and 45 seconds, and that is slow. Usually India wants to try and be up about 5:15. So it feels like it was late with the Agra fort being put down, and then villagers not building it because they had to run away and get picked off. That also hurts. Did go for the advanced consulate strategy, so consulate down already, looking to go for diplomatic intrigue, go for the French consulate appears and then sends the crates behind this. That is what I will assume is going to be done by John Raphael, and then can send 600 wood afterwards. Already has the market down and starting to get his techs in, but just look at the scores. Like, John Raphael's score is just behind the game, and India's a civ which they're really slow in terms of their economic potential compared to other civs like Britain, Dutch, and Hawk Girl. The recalculated economic population really strong for Hawk Girl, strong for Axeman, very strong for Hazza. Hazza playing as the Brits here. 3 vil, 700 wood, 600 wood is going mass manor houses, already up to 140 manor population, and has a forward outpost and a mid-map barracks as well. And looks like we got the forward base from Axeman, Hazza, and Total Chaos in the center of the map near the German trading post.
Yeah, we see that Dutch is on 4 banks already. Just put up the barracks, so they're opting for a little bit more of a boom strategy. India is an interesting civilization when it comes to booming. They start off a little bit slow, but they do basically have a 3 vil, a 5 vil, and another 5 vil shipment. So they're okay, but, and of course, you know, every card that is shipped is you get an extra villager with it. So they're pretty decent. In team at least, but yeah, 4 banks straight before even building a barracks for Hot Girl, and we see the pretty boomy strategy out from the grills. Additionally, like you were saying, Team Hazza has already has 13 manors out, so really well done by them. We do see a push coming in from Team Hazza. It is Ulan's Sepoy and skirmishers in the back. Skirmishers are being idled currently. Bit of a shame, but they're going to put some damage onto India here. We see Hot Girl just now getting skirmishers out. We'll look at military units for you guys, see how many he has. Only 6 currently. We'll stay on that for a bit for you guys. But yeah, this is interesting for sure.
Well, they went for a raid with the double cavalry option of the Uhlans and 5 hussars from Hazza, but Hazza also having musketeers. British musketeers and Dutch skirmishers are laying siege to the Agra fort. They want to push the Agra fort. They don't want to push the base, and they want to pull the army around. German Uhlans are reinforcing, hoping to pick off Hawk Girl's unprotected skirmishers here, and it needs to be a bit more coordination from Team Hawk Girl. Ironic Virus, though, pushing out with 10 upgraded Hussars. That should be enough to try and save some of those skirmishers, but Musketeers and Hussars and Uhlans here. Where is the Indian player? He's still in base.
He's got 7 Sepoy coming. That's not enough to deal with all the Cav. He was put behind really early. That's going to be really rough for them. It is. Hawk Girl does have a decent amount of skirmishers out, but versus double Cav, or 1.5 times Cav, if you will, it could be really rough for him. We do see the Hussar coming in, a good amount of Hussar out from Ironic Virus. I like to see that. He is doing well for his team. Jean Ralphio is fighting skirmishers and musketeers with his Sepoy. He does have the elephant to kind of tank, but the skirmishers are having none of it. They're focusing solely on the Sepoy. Really good micro from Axeman. Well done from him. We do see the skirmishers cleaning up all the Cav. Nicely done.
Yeah, those Sepoys getting cleaned up though. Sauer's being sent to the aggro fort on top of the skirmishers. That's nice, but there's just too many skirms and musketeers here to really deal with that, and even Uhlans are coming back. Ironic Virus lost most of his Hussars. Portgo had to call Minutemen to defend his skirmisher mass, but it feels that that was a really well coordinated attack from Hazza, and it looks like they actually really want to try and get a decisive advantage in the second stage before any aging up behind this. And all of the players on Hazza's team sending upgrade cards to bolster their army, but Hawk Girl having to send 8 pikemen, and that was not the plan from Hawk Girl.
Yeah, 8 pikemen. It's pretty decent in team. It's you don't really want to be building pikemen yourself. It's not ideal. Skirmishers is what you want to be doing. 8 pikemen. You'd have, as Dutch, you have 8 pikemen and 3 hussar as your only options for military units. We do see the skirmishers under attack by the Uhlans and the Cav, but has done a really good job of kiting, honestly. The Cav have really not connected very well with the skirmishers. That's a good amount of skirmishers. They're going to need all of them to do really well here. We need some more Sepoy or units from India. If he is able to get enough out, they might be able to win this with Defender's Advantage. It's looking like really good numbers over to Team Hazza, though. It is 100 military pop over to 35, but that's a good amount of skirmishers. This is rough for Hawk Girl's team, though. The girls, he is aging. Hawk Girl's aging the 3 right now when he's under this much pressure. Perhaps that's a mistake. I would not be expecting that.
It feels like Dutch can get the age up in it. They have a great eco, but you kind of need to rely on your opponents having a good military force to back up. Okay, another 7 Hussars coming for Ironic Virus. Hazza's Musketeers, quite funny, these guys. Double HP upgraded, 187 HP, and the infantry attack card of the British card as well. So these Musketeers and the British player, so strong. Skirmishers going to veteran status for Hawk Girl, but no upgrades on these units whatsoever, due to having sent shipments like 8 pike, 700 food, and even Axeman skirmishers as well. Attack and HP on these guys, very strong behind this. So I'm expecting this aggressive play from Hazza continuing, and well, the Indian player, he's out of res in his base really, but he's still making sepoys, and he really needs Gurkhas just to try and trade off favorably versus the skirmisher musketeer here from Hazza. It feels like sending sepoys now are just going straight to their death.
Yeah, I agree in a lot of ways. If the Cav from Ironic Virus is able to connect to the skirmishers and the Sepoy are able to defend for the skirmishers of Hawk Girl, that could be really nice. We do see Reuter coming out, so yeah, I agree at this point. Definitely should be mixing some Gurkha in at least, if not going full Gurkha. We do see that Hawk Girl sent 1,000 food, it looks like. That's nice. But this is really rough right in his base, and I'm not sure if Hawk Girl's team can hold. They do have Defender's Advantage. It's really important. We see that the military population went from 138 or whatever it was to like 55 and 110. So you can see how much the defender's advantage makes a difference. And we do see the skirmishers from Hot Girl doing really well. H3 skirmishers get a shadow upgrade in going to H3. It does look like the villagers from Jean Raphael are going down though. That's a bunch of cav on them. No defensive units, no units to defend them. That is Jean Raphael calling it. Okay, that's GG for him. He is out.
Yeah, and I think we need to give special credit there to Hazza for a good economic play to start off with, going for double infantry cars to buff his musketeers, but also Hazza included a stable and offered some cavalry support, teaming up with the German cavalry, and Total Chaos sent team hand cav attack, so these are SARs, 33 hand attack, cavalry HP sent as well for Hazza's, so Hazza's units were just on fire through that, and did you see those Sepoys just before the resignation there joined the fight, but essentially kill 3 units before all 12, 15 of them going down. And John Raphael was just trying to send units to the fight, but because he was on the backside of the army from like Hazza and Axeman, the Sepoys were just running into the musketeers and skirmishers. And when your team haven't sent your team cards, you haven't got a combat cards in H2 as the Indians versus triple carded musketeers, double carded skirmishers. Those Sepoys just trade so poorly at that point, and unfortunately John Raphael losing those 2 early villagers really hurt his play. Not having upgradable units wasn't the greatest versus upgrade units that Hazza played. Hazza advanced into the fortress age behind this, so as a German player. Hawk Girl kind of needed to do something, and I guess the Raiters and the Vet Skirms were enough to trade well afterwards. It's just Hazza's play behind, and you can see that in the scores. 200 score for the British player. British player usually have high scores, but the military pressure that Hazza put on to the Hawk Girl team was just phenomenal.
Yeah, really well done by him. We can also see the importance of putting your military buildings close together as a team. That is the biggest reason why Jean Raphael was not able to get his sepoy to protect the skirmishers, and likewise the skirmishers to protect the sepoy. That's really important. We see that the grills all based in home. Of course, the aggro was out, but there was no military buildings there with it. And yeah, Team Hazza takes game number 1. Well played by them. We're going to get into game number 2 shortly. Take a look at some of the post-game stats for you guys. Yeah, sorry, I'm just reading chat real quick. We'll look at some of the post-game stats for you guys real quick. Look at the combat XP, the resources gathered as a team. We can see that Team Hazza is pretty much ahead the whole time. Military unit population. I will move the military pop and everything, guys, like you guys were suggesting. I will do that.
Yeah, your comments of the team placing all their military buildings together, it was absolutely spot on. You couldn't have called that game much better. And the fact was, John Raphael was sending villagers forwards to build a forward aggro, but there were no other villagers from the team. There was no joint forward base. I think they may have wanted to go for a forward base, but once they saw the aggro be under pressure, villagers go down, they thought, okay, let's back off and build in base. But they could have built a communal base in Hawk Girl's town centre to try and push off either side, depending on where Hazza's team wanted to play off. But the fact that John Raphael's units were always getting caught out and just couldn't reinforce, it felt like it was like a 3 versus 2, 3 versus 2.5 throughout. And you can see the military population every time military populations were being produced, they're just getting picked off continuously, and just great trades throughout that game for Hazza's team. And if I was going to individual military population, John Raphael always sitting at a low population and much, much lower compared to the very similar Civ pick and a similar role. But what Hazza had, and Hazza continuously had twice, maybe 2.5 the military population of what John Raphael, and that was the biggest difference, was those 2 players.
Yeah, definitely. Hawkgirl doing really well. I like the gameplay from him. But yeah, the military buildings, your army is all separated, and they're not able to cover each other. I'm going to read. All right. Let me know what you think of this, Harrison. Do you want me to screen share, and you want to watch it from that point of view? If not, we don't have to. The players were saying the lag was so bad that they don't want to continue with 2 observers.
I mean, yes, it looks pretty bad. So I don't mind that. All I'm gonna say is, like, as everybody would say, it ain't me.
Yeah.
I'm quite comfortable, but no, I'm happy to screen share and try and carry on for that. But we'll get into the next game, and it will also be the same level, and people go, well, this is interesting. So I will hop out of Age of Empires game, and I will join your screen share.
Yeah, I'm not in any way insinuating that you lag. We do know that 2 observers, the UI mode, AZAMP UI, while it's really good, it's the 2 observers in a 3v3 just is a recipe for lots of lag. Just 4 players. 4 players are lagging is really, really bad. Or 4 players, 4v4 can be really bad with lag already. All right, so I think they've picked Civs. I'm not positive. I think I joined late. But yes, this is game number 2. Manchuria is the map that was selected. The girls picked the map, and Team Hazza picked Civ first. So it looks like we have Otto, India, and France versus India, France, and Brits. When you win with a civilization, you are not able to play that civilization again. So we will see a maximum, because it's a best of 5, a maximum of 3 different civilizations played by the winning team. So anyone curious? Looking at everything else, looks good to go. Let me know if you guys have any questions in chat. This is a best of 5, like I just said, and it is JaiLeD casting, Harrison co-casting. Thanks for coming, and this is a really good map. I'm excited for it. These players, we see Hot Girl on his infamous auto, and we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, Hawkgo playing as the Ottoman civilization. I'm going to squeeze this in there, but I did defeat Hawkgo in a 1v1. Very happy with that. However, it wasn't a no TP map, so I guess there's a bit of a handicap that Hawkgo had. Very strong playing the Dutch in the first game there. I've seen that he's been playing Dutch very well in the previous series that I casted. Now going to his main squeeze, the Ottoman civilization. John Raphael going Japan. John Raphael / Gibson plays many civs. I don't believe he has a main civ to play. Ironic Varus, though, staying with the French, and I've only seen him play the French throughout the entire series so far, so maybe going to continue with his cavalry play, and, well, that's good. Like, if you've got one player focused on one strategy, at least that you can depend on them to do that strategy very well. But up against this team, it was tough the first game. Can they come back in the second?
Yeah, this map, India, French, and British. I do expect there to be some water gameplay, especially with these civilizations. It is possible to do a lot of early aggression. If on a map with sea, you're pretty much in team games. Your 2 options are to go sea or to rush really hard. You really don't have any other options. But we'll see what happens here. It is India in red. Hazza in red as India, Total Chaos in green as France, Axemen in orange as Brits versus Hot Girl in blue as Ottomans, Jean Ralphio in purple as Japan, and Ironic Virus in pink as France. This should be a really good game. We do see that the trade posts spawn behind the players. That's going to allow for a little bit more booming, a little bit less contesting on the map early, and we'll see how many of the yaks are picked up by each team.
I'm expecting Hazza's team here to get at least 60% of the yaks, maybe 3/4 of them. You know, they have civs like India, 2 explorers, the French, native scouts. The opposite team, they do have the Japan and French as well, but the Ottoman player most likely spending his initial game throwing down a trading post, and we do see Ironic Virus dropping a trading post, as well as Hawkgo, and Hazza's already out with his Explorer. The green player, French player, native scout down to the south, picking up a few Yaks as well. Even the British player not throwing down an early trading post himself, he'll be out and about on the map trying to get some Yaks. So we'll have to keep an eye on the Yak count as players transition to the next stage. But it feels that India on this Civ, on this map, is a really nice pick.
Yeah, India, we did see in one of the previous matches, we saw India picked on this map specifically, and what he did a FF, sent Team Urumi and Team 10 Thuggies. It has to be a water map in order to send Team 10 Thuggies. It is very, very strong, though. My team was playing against them, and we didn't check decks well enough. It's not something you see all the time. And they took a trick out of the JAILED book there. In a previous match, we had used that on someone else, and they used it on us, and it was pretty rough. The Thuggies are basically really, really good skirmisher-type units. I wouldn't say better than Abus, but comparable to Abus. Very high damage, slow rate of fire, and also a decent amount of HP.
Yeah, you usually see Thuggies make an appearance from a German mercenary strategy on Deccan, but we're not on Deccan, we are currently on Manchuria. Hawkgirl spawning down to the southern side of the map. He's playing Ottoman. Do you think the Ottoman here could go for having some fun playing Counter-Strike? He could be going for some water play. He's right next to the sea. I have seen Hawkgirl play water as Ottoman before. Could also go for just a TP play, but one of his teammates, Oryx Varus, has already picked up a training post for himself, so it's not like the Ottoman player has a big stagecoach eco to rely on, and maybe needs to rely on some water play to top up his economy and stay relevant in a 3v3 game.
Yeah, we'll take a look at the decks real quick. We do see it is a water deck out from Ottomans, not any team cards in his deck, actually. Looking at Japan's deck, it is also a water deck, or at least a warship deck. And then looking at France's deck, it is all land. Looking at India's deck, he does have the Team 10 Thuggies, does not have Team 4 Urumi. It's a little bit nerfed. It is definitely nerfed on EP. So that's okay. But yeah, Team 10 Thuggies is really, really good card. Team 4 Urumi, when used well, that is 12 Urumi in a 3v3, and Urumi is really nice. Looking at, we see Brit's deck, it is a water deck also from him, and the French deck is some warship cards.
The French player having absolutely zero military units in the third age apart from 2 Falconets. If you've looked at the Indian player deck of Hazza, he has a multitude of cards. Hazza has the flexibility to send, if he feels that his team needs some anti-siege potential, he can send the siege elephants. If he feels that there's so many more musketeers for the opponents, he can go for the Urumi or Gurkha. If we have potentially Abus guns from the Ottoman player, Yumi archers from Japan, Hazza can send the 3 Mahouts. He has the flexibility to change his army depending on what his opponent is. Where the French player is like, right, I'm going to go full greed here. And I have seen French players go fast industrial and just spam Gendarme Cuirassiers to be very, very effective in this situation. And that may be the place that Hazza and Hazza's team go for. French player sitting back, going for the eco build, maybe Hazza trying to buy some time. I think in terms of Civ selection, I think Hazza's team outscales Hawkgirl's team. Japan super late eco, not the greatest.
It is really close. It depends a little bit on who goes C. If Brits go C, that hurts his mana boom a little bit. It's not the same as a Brits going on land and then a teammate going on C. And then of course there's French. There's a French on each team. Those kind of cancel each other out. We do see.
Check that stable wagon that's going down. It's a nice treasure, but you can't build it in the first stage, and that there is a 200 wood pickup for Hawkgirl. So very, very nice pickup there. Good play. Hazza's realised that he's even lost his monk for that, and maybe both of his explorers as well, trying to get that really, really strong shipment. And yes, Hazza's just aged up, and since that was aged up, he could have thrown that stable right down. So that was a crucial play there from Hawkgirl.
Yeah, for sure. To be honest, it's not necessarily going to matter quite too much because he still has the aggro he can build units from. If he was trying to go for Zambrak or something like that, it would make a big difference. He does have a camel card, In my opinion, the more important one, 30% attack, is a little bit better than just affecting the multipliers. Sowar and Zambrak are already excellent at what they are specifically designed to do. Yeah, that was really important, that stable going down, though. I mean, obviously, that's basically a 200 wood swing over to Hot Girl. And you guys were asking in chat what the prize pool was and all that. It's actually $300. It was $100 donated, and there was a buy-in from the players that makes up the other $200. And if you want to donate to the prize pool, you may do so. You may also donate to future prize pools if you are so inclined. It is $300 currently. It is 80% of the winnings goes over to the winner, 20% over to second place. So both teams already going to be taking part in the prize pool.
We see Hazza sent in foreign login behind this mid-map aggro fort. Is there any other buildings nearby? Because it feels like actually this time Hazza's gone for the mid-map control, but not too much supporting. We do have a barracks out from Axeman. What is Toto Chaos up to? Has he got an in-base stable? I do notice 3 TPs are being thrown down for Toto Chaos on that 700 wood. May not even need a 700 coin to age up to the 3rd age, and going for that 3 TP and Stagecoach. Toto Chaos hoping to get a strong eco behind this. Hawk Girl's team also having the 3 TPs. I wonder if they've researched Stagecoach. Maybe Hawk Girl is investing into the woods and relying on Ironic Virus to go for the Stagecoach upgrades to get that in. Hawk Girl needs to spend all the resources he can possibly on his C eco, and it seems like only Hawk Girl is taking the C at the moment. The Compactio on the other side, Axeman, not yet.
Yeah, only Hot Girl's taking C. We will take a look at Japan's deck real quick. He does not have Team 3 fishing boats. Somewhat of a controversial card, whether it's good in a 3v3 or a 4v4 or not. He does get the fishing boats from the consulate, though. Yeah, I think it's okay to have a stable back. A stable obviously produces quick units, so you are able to reinforce your teammates' infantry military buildings quickly if needed. So that's okay. I don't think it's a terrible choice. We do see that the Grills team has all done their military buildings. Wait, does Hot Girl even have a military building? Oh, he does. Okay.
Yeah, Abe's production. Hazza, though, straight FF here. 600 coin being thrown down as well. Can you check his consulate? Probably Ottoman consulate if he has one, but I don't think he's even had time to even send a consulate. And that is the Taj Mahal age up. That is coin. That could be an early team Fuggy shipment. Also, could be the coin to jump to the age after, but looking at his small food count, it looks like Hazza is probably going to be going for town centres here and maybe that Fuggy shipment.
Yeah, I definitely expect those thuggies. The one really important thing is the galleys here are right on top of all of the homesteady shipments for Team Hazza. So it is possible that all of those could go down, or at least some of the thuggies could die in the boats. We'll see what happens there. We'll see how many of them make it to shore. But yeah, pretty interesting. We see lots of shrines coming out from Japan. We see a good amount of raiding coming out from Ironic Virus and defending raids. Well, he has the military advantage when it comes to, or the cav advantage, the mobility advantage currently. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if Hot Girl's team is able to catch some of those thuggies. That would be really, really good play. Sending those 3 or having the 3 galleys out quickly could be designed specifically for this if they paid attention to previous matches. Well played. We do see caravels coming first, though, and make sure that it's safe.
Look, see, Hazza's monks, south side, he's moving his flag forward. He's probably asking his team to move their flags forward. All flags going there, but they need to split them up. You can't have all the flags on top of each other. A couple of these fuggies might not even spawn, and that is a feature you'd be aware of. Caravels coming in for Axeman. They have rehearsed this plan. One caravel from Total Chaos going down straight away. That Fuggy shipment is nearly arriving, and look at that! What is this?
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. There is one Thuggy, the shipment that did not arrive for... Dude! Thanks for the $5, Black Duke. Appreciate it. Oh my.
History.
Let me, okay, let me, hopefully that will not double share the audio twice in a row. $10 now, Black Duck. Thanks, man. Appreciate the support, guys. Yeah, the Thuggies coming in, doing some work. Let's look at the siege on these guys. It is 30 siege. 30 siege on basically 30 units. That is a lot of siege quickly. They are going to take a lot of the docks down just themselves. They're going to need anti-cav with them, though. Good walling here. It actually separates some of the Thuggies. We'll see if that comes into play, though. I do like the muskets and the sepoy coming forward to kind of defend them, and that's a good amount of cav out to help, too.
Yeah, the cav from Total Chaos reinforcing back, pushing back towards the sepoys and musketeers. You can see that Hazza's gone heavy infantry, Axeman's gone heavy infantry, and these are units to cover the Thuggies, and there's so many Thuggies that they can do very well versus the Avis guns and Ashes, but they really need to push together. I feel a lot of these Thuggies are currently not joining the main fight, and what's the point pushing out with your military mass if you haven't got all your units together? Only one batch of Thuggies currently on screen. Where are the other ones?
Yeah, they're a little bit behind. They need to come forward, but I think it's enough to perhaps deal with this. If microed well, they are extremely strong, having 45 attack, doing 2 times versus heavy infantry, and 2 times versus ranged cavalry also. Yeah, it's a really, really good shipment. It's 1k coin for 30 units, so really well done from them. We'll see if they're able to push this to victory or not. It is Gene Ralphiola and Ironic Virus in H3. Team Hazza, the only one in H3 for his team. This is, it's going to come down to micro. The Thuggies fire very, very slowly. High damage. They can do a lot quickly, but you need to micro them well and make sure you're not overkilling units.
Yeah, we do see Ironic Virus having quite a lot of Hussars out, but these are colonial Hussars. He's in the 3rd age, and I think Ironic Virus had aged up with about 15 Hussars. Maybe Vet Hussars here could be quite strong just to provide an extra bit of HP for these tanky units. Wow, he even sent cavalry training in his 5th card. Not sure, I'm not a fan of that, sending that card this early. Does have cav combat behind to be a bit more tanky behind us. Avis guns are very important to deal with this push, but I think the Zuta more stuff principle applies here. There are so many Thuggies still alive, and enough sepoys to prevent these guys being picked off by cavalry. Hazza's team are just moving forward, taking a shot, and moving forward and pushing back of the eco from the Indian player, from the Japanese player, and poor John Raphael once again getting the thick end of the stick from Hazza's team.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of Thuggies left. There's a few. Really well done by them. It looks like they have pushed in really, really hard with it. I like the sepoy and the musket preparation along with the Thuggies. They protect them well. We did see the flaming arrows coming out and being destroyed quickly. They were sent again and also being taken out immediately. Well done from them. Yeah, this is looking rough for the Grills team. Looking at it economically, it shows that Hazza's team has the advantage economically. And then 185 military pop to 17. A lot of that is the Thuggies. They take up 6 population each. So that is 60 population if you have all 10. Well done from them so far. We'll see if the Grills are able to hold on and make this game turn this game into their favor.
It was certainly cute from Ironic Virus to think that he could actually take on Hazza's sepoys with his dragoons. These sepoys, disciplined sepoys, as well as double-carded British East India and Team Infantry HP. These units are so tanky, and just enough heavy infantry here to sustain it. And Axeman sends in the right cards, Team Infantry HP to buff the sepoys. Hazza sends in the Thuggies to make that land deployment from the sea that much better, and that was brutal. That was really one-sided as well. Just such a good plan, executed really well.
Yeah, really well played. It shows that they practiced a lot. Even if you have a really high-rated player, if your team is not coordinated, does not work well together, you do not have much of a chance in tournaments like this, in really high-rated games. And, well, fairly high-rated games. I know some people don't consider some of these players high rated, but yeah, really well played, good coordination. They make it work really well with the Team Thuggies. Let's see, I'm curious if there's any resources tributed. Total Chaos did send 500 resources. I'm guessing that's to Hazza to help him get those Thuggies out faster.
Yeah, that would make sense, especially because Hazza he did send foreign login to get his eco movement, but he aged up to the third age with no markets. Remember, no markets, no consulate, and no trading post of any site. So no real economic impetus for the Indian player. But he didn't need the economy; he just needed the technology advantage and sending those thuggies really early on. But crucially, the two caravels shipments, double shipment, was sent by Total Chaos and Axeman before the thuggies arrived, and they cleared a path for those units to land on the sea. A good wall coming out from Hawk Girl to try and prevent movement, but it was not enough. Those thuggies were able to move across. That military population hugely inflated due to the outlaw style units, but so it over-represents their strength. But the fact that you had these very strong skirmisher style units, essentially like they feel like they're strong as Aegis guns, but with much more HP and a slower rate of fire, but being covered by those heavy infantry units of the British Musketeers and Indian Sepoys, that was unbreakable. And yeah, it was real tough. It was too much for Hawk Girls, Ottomans / Aegis guns to deal with.
Yeah, that was a crazy amount of thuggies out quickly. Hawkgirl even saying he expected it. They tried to prepare for it, having those galleys out, but well done with Team Hazza preparing for the possible preparation of their strategy and changing all of the flags, changing where the caravels came, so the caravels would be able to defend a little bit, defend the catamarans that came out with all the thuggies. Well played. A card we don't see almost ever, even in team games. It's pretty rare, but it's a really good card when used well and coordinated well with your team. Well played from them. That concludes game number 2. I was really thinking the Grills were gonna come out with a better or a stronger performance at the start. I think they have the potential to actually take this whole match. We'll see if they're able to do it. It is basically it's like you were saying, Gibson, the Hot Girl, and it is Ironic Virus versus Hazza. Here, we'll show you guys. Hazza, Total Chaos, and Axeman. So, at Total Chaos and Axeman, both captains. Hawk Girl, pretty high rated. Gene Raphael, pretty high rated. Ironic Virus actually taking the previous...
Hesitate my money.
We see the previous the previous 3v3 tournament. Ironic Virus was a finalist in that also. We see also that... oh shoot, who was it? Someone just
I think
Japan.
It was
It was Dutch. I think it was Dutch Raptor. Japan Blamer.
Yeah,
he donated $5.97, saying, "Hazza, take my money. I appreciate the support, man. You're awesome." And we're gonna get into the next game in just a bit. It looks like the map is going to be Malaysia. Alrighty. So we have a few civs that Team Hazza is not able to play. Hazza specifically is not able to play India or Brits. Axeman, let me see if I can remember what he played every game. Last game, it was Brits, and then the first game, trying to remember, what was it? Do you remember?
No, Dutch.
It was Dutch, yeah. And then Total Chaos played Germany and then France. If you look at it, Total Chaos actually does not have hardly any games on any other civilization. It's less than 15 on any other civilization. He has played Germany about 400 times, played France about 60 or so. I don't remember exactly how many. But yeah, I'm really curious what he's going to go with here. And we see the Grills team coming out with Malaysia, another C map. So we're not going to see the thuggies again, or at least not from Hazza. We'll see if someone else is able to come up with it. I appreciate all of the donations from you guys and all the support from the community. You guys are awesome. For anyone joining recently, this is the 3v3 JAILED Tournament Finals. JAILED casting, Harrison co-casting, and the teams are the Grills versus Team Hazza.
While we've got a bit of downtime between the lobbies, do you want to hear a funny story from the EPL 2?
Yes, I do.
So, you know how how that last game we saw one of the catamarans unable to spawn and was spawn blocked and did not actually turn up on the battlefield.
Yep.
In one of the recent series, we had a game on Dhaka, and do you remember
Mhm.
Dhaka? It's like New England with that middle pond.
Yeah, I casted that game.
Well, it's okay. It's happened many times. But
Okay. You were casting then, so I guess it's happened twice in EPL 2 so far.
Well, yeah, it's happened at least 3 or 4 times, but this case was so serious. It was so funny. Minimalt versus Stanley Winston, Osman versus Aztec. First card from Osman, second age. 2 galleys sent very early and nuked the Shaman age up. So both of those war huts went down without being built, and that was a great pickup there and then. Advanced to the Fortress Age with the Admiral of the Ocean Sea. So we now have 3 galleys in the middle ponds, and the big fight happens. We have veteran Janissaries, Falconets marching across that southern side into the Aztec player's base, and Stanley Winston, he was one step ahead of the game. He thought, you know what, I can send my privateers. The privateers stronger than the galleys, as well as getting the surprise factor. I can pick maybe 1 or 2 off straight away with my special attacks, and then with the privateers engaging the Falconets or distracting, I can then push in my army. But what happened was he put the flag on in. He put his spawn flag in the corner of the map, but there are 3 galleys on top of that spawn position. So Stanley Winston sent the 3 privateers, 500 coin mercenary shipment age 2. Only 1 spawned and instantly got nuked by the galleys from Minimalt, and then it was just 3 galleys, 2 Falconets, and 20 vet Jans versus a small mass of Aztec units because he spent more resources into the ships than backing up, and it was just one-sided fight, and I just lost myself. It was so funny, just see this plan just crumble in front of your eyes due to ships not spawning.
Dang, that's crazy. That's almost GG there. I saw in another game, the home city shipment point for water was placed kind of like on the crossing a little bit, and someone sent 2 caravels, neither of them spawning at all. It was so rough.
Yeah. So, a message for all players: think about your location for your water spawns and try and get them set into the central body of the water to ensure maximum chances of spawning. And did you see how all 3 of those team players basically put the flag on the same spot? Like they all thought, okay, I'm fine to put my flag here. I think they can see each other's flag as well. But yeah, a little bit of a triangle formation, and one that didn't spawn. But to be fair though, having 8 out of 9 ships spawning, you can't really complain too much about that.
Yeah, I would not complain about that either. 8 out of 9. It meant that 2 or 3 thuggies did not arrive. When you're already getting 27 or 28, an additional 2 or 3 is not game changing. Not usually, and in that case it wasn't. So good for them. We did see them move their caravels away, so perhaps they were paying attention to that. Red Kit, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. Earlier, Tanser also followed. If I am not catching all of you guys, I'm sorry. There's a lot of appreciation for the stream. It is a best of 5, Jas. This is game number 3. We'll see what they're able to do, though. I know I'm certain that Team Hazza is a little bit strapped when it comes to civilizations that they can play really well. Axemen and Total Chaos. While they're really good on a few civilizations, they are really good only on a few, or they're really only practiced really well on a few. On the other hand, you're able to play every civilization that was not banned specifically from the other team if you have not won a game yet. So the Grills are able to play everything but ports. So yeah, we'll see what happens here. I do like the choice to go for another C map. It does make it so that Team Hazza are not able to. Hazza is not able to do the Team 10 Thuggies again, at least. We'll see what they go with though.
Yeah, Malaysia is slightly different though. You only have 2 trading post sockets, and for a 3v3, civs which really depend on XP feel slightly awkward here. So we may see limited amount of Ottoman, German, Spanish picks possibly. So we may just go for more standard picks like Dutch and British, and Japan could do all right here as well. Obviously, Hawk Girl will have to change their civs. It looks like they haven't done the civ dats and pick at the moment, and they're going through one by one. Looks like Hazza's picking French straight away, and the thing with having such a great player like Hazza on your team is that well, he can play every civ to an exceptionally high level. So Hazza won't mind what civ he gets given. And I guess that's the difference between the highest level and the people around my level or your level, our level, is that they generally focus on 2 to 3 civs, and once they get forced to play other civs, they kind of feel a bit out of their comfort zone. Like, I could play most civs, but for example, I have never really played a competitive game of Age of Empires 3 with either the Aztecs, the Indians, and the Japanese. It's just I haven't, and I'd be absolutely terrible if I was forced to play one of those civs.
Yeah. Speaking of which, that is a good introduction to the next tournament. Stay tuned until right after the finals, and there's gonna be a sneak peek and signups also allowed for the next tournament. It's gonna be some interesting civilizations that are gonna be played during it. That's all I'm gonna say for now. Yeah, looking. We played. My team played. Well, I should say, Carp's team played Team Hazza in the semifinals, and we. It went well. It was actually, sorry, quarterfinals, and it went fairly well. We took a game off of them. But we did a lot of preparation into it beforehand, and we realized that Axeman and Total Chaos, Germany and France were both of their most common civilizations played, and they did not have a whole lot of other civilizations. We had banned France during that match specifically because we were prepared for it. Yeah, most players at this level of gameplay don't know a whole lot of civilizations. They're definitely not experienced on every single one usually, but we'll see what they go with. We see France for each team. Ports picked up by Team Hazza. The Grills picked up India. Hazza finishes it out with Dutch. So we have French, Portuguese, and Dutch. That's good. I think on this map that'll work really well.
Yeah, so you're thinking Portuguese will probably try and make use of the water play and go for fishing. Dutch, good eco, don't need TPs. French can try and build one training post in transition to get a bit of XP bonus, or maybe donate it to the Portuguese player. Either one will do. It doesn't really matter which one plays, but it's not like we've got, say, German and Ottoman play on the same team, because that would be very, very difficult and annoying to play with. So back to that Civ selection idea, when I gracefully tagged in to help out and play for Meafut's team, I believe it was, Mr. Brownboy instantly banned my Dutch, and I was slightly upset because that's the one Civ I've been trying to play to a somewhat decent level in the 1v1 scene, so I had to resort to just playing, first lieutenant level French, and I tried my best, but unfortunately Mr. Bramboy's team were just too good for us on that day and knocked us out of the tournament.
Yeah, very interesting from them. Thanks for the follow, Turgale3. I appreciate it. Yeah, it is. I think it's okay. I wanted the players to be able to ban really, really strong civ, such as Japan. Didn't want to see Japan lamed every single game if that's what they wanted to go for. But yeah, we do have the civilizations picked for the Grills. It is French, Indian, and Ottomans now. As you were saying earlier, Ottomans not super strong on maps that don't have a lot of TPs. They're more of a trade post dependent civilization. They do have on EP compared to RE. They do have a stronger economy than a little bit less reliant on TPs than RE. But yeah, it can be decent on this map though. Having Sepoy, Abus, and Hussar from France is really good combination. Honestly, we'll see if Team Hazza are able to take game number 3 though, or if the Grills are gonna continue this match point and go on to game number 4.
Well, they need a strong performance if they want to carry on, because otherwise you'll be handing Hazza the metaphorical trophy for winning this best of 5. And so the pressure is on now for Hawk Girl to carry his team, Ironic Virus and John Raphael. You see Ironic once again going for the French, and probably once again going for the Hussars play. And I do want to comment quickly for the Ironic Virus. Last game produced about 15 Hussars in the Colonial Age. Didn't really do much of them before the Fuggy push came in there. So I'm expecting Ironic Virus to go Hussars again. And maybe the other team can play around that fact.
Yeah, I don't know. I do know that Team Hazza in the past has done really well at raiding on this map. They are. It's a map that is very open to raiding. You do not have anywhere behind your base, basically, to gather with your vills. Basically, everything is in front of you or to the side. And so it's very open for raiding. We'll see what the players do, though. It could be. I don't know. I expect some water play from both teams. I don't expect like an all-in rush on this map. All-in rush has been used before, but it rarely wins. I don't expect it, but we'll see what comes out of it. Looking at the spawn points, we see Ottomans spawned in the middle, France on the right, and India on the left. That's an okay spawn. You definitely don't want Ottomans too far away from the trade post if that is what he's going for. He's not going for that immediately, though.
He's going to try and steal... No, he's not going to try and steal Hazza's TP. That would be suicide. You can see he's going out forwards, though, so he's going to try and find a few treasures, maybe a few yaks, and just try and scout around a little bit. But Ottoman, without a TP early on, it just feels so awkward. I really dislike this pick from Hawk Girl, but I suppose he could have gone Dutch, actually, instead of Ottoman. He's played very well as a Dutch civilization so far this tourney in terms of the first game as well as some previous games as well. So that this Dutch play feels awkward, but he's going for it. He's trying to find that TP, and I think he realizes the other team, maybe because the French player, it wasn't a wood start, can just steal this TP. And how do you deny this? You don't. You can't deny it.
Yeah, I mean, if the Minutemen came out, that could be pretty nice. One thing that is worth noting is that the trade travois starts way on the right-hand side of the map, and it is impossible to get, especially if you stand in the... well, it's just impossible to get the first pass building this travois, this trade post. But he should get it the first pass having it here, so it should allow him to get his first shipment sooner as opposed to it being here and it basically being the same timing. So perhaps just really preparing for the map well. I like that plan from him. If they are able to get 2 TPs here and somewhat defend this one so it doesn't go get brought down immediately age 2, that would be nice play from them.
The disrespect on that TP, making the full use of the no town centre construction radius with the trading post there. Looks like Hazza's Explorer also very low HP as well. Looks like Hazza does pick up the 80 coin, and very nice for Hazza. Hazza's playing as the Dutch civilization, but already has his 15 villas keyed up though, so that coin will be used to make a villager as soon as he ages up to the next age. The thing is with Dutch, like, you're now really forced to make a batch of pikes to siege that trading post. Usually the Dutch player would either be going for cav and skirmishers, both units not the greatest at sieging here, and if attention is given to Ottoman's TP in their own base, it's just leaving the other players a little bit more open to a coordinated attack from Hawk Girl on the right-hand side of the map, far away from that trading post.
Yeah, that's a good point. If there is army, a decent sized army sieging down the TP, that is opening up the rest of the map for some pressure. We do see the second trade post not even picked up yet. That's a little bit interesting, a little bit funny. I expect perhaps building it with 400 wood or building it in transition. We're going to take a look at the decks real quick. We see India with some C decks. He does have Team 10 Thuggies, so it is nicely picked up from them, some adaptation from last game. But for the other team, and then for Ottomans, a little bit of a C deck there. France, no C. That's fine. I think it's fine if only 2 of the players have warships and whatnot. For Team Hazza, Hazza has some warship cards. Ports has some water boom cards and some warships, and then France again, no warship cards. I like the decks from them regarding C.
Do you know what Ironic Virus is doing right now? I really dislike this play from Ironic Virus unless they're going for a very aggressive play. Currently has 550 food in the bank, very late on switching villagers to wood, and does not appear to be really committing to wood gathering, so may only get techs like place mines and hunting dogs as a maximum. Might not be able to afford steel traps, but gathering 500 odd food after you've clicked up, but before you've even got to the next stage, that feels really awkward from Ironic Virus. I'm unsure why this extra food has been gathered up.
I think he's going to donate it to Hawkgirl and allow Hawkgirl to age up to 3 even faster. I think that's kind of what happened in the last game, and I expect something similar. We'll see what he does with it. We'll keep an eye on the food. We do not have a UI that is able to keep track of what has been tributed. So we'll keep an eye on that. It could also be him trying to. Let's see. Does he get? He is getting a stable out. So getting a stable out, and perhaps gonna send 700 coin, age up to 3 quickly. That's an option. But if you're sending team 10 thuggies, you're gonna need units out to defend them.
No, Ironic Virus is having 4 vills just by looking at its population. He'd be making a few hussars. Could be sending a few resources to Hawkgirl, but Hawkgirl is at the normal food and coin count at this stage as you would expect. It just feels like Ironic Virus just slightly not great build. You wouldn't FF here as France because your Ottoman ally has 2 trading posts and so has the XP to make the most of it by going to the 3rd age, and so I think that might be the play. But if you go into their forward base, looks like Hawkgirl is spending his coin and not aging up, so that could be Avis gun production from the Ottoman player.
Yeah, good note. Paying attention to that. It was Jean Ralphio that is India, and it doesn't look like he's aging up right now. Maybe it's more just standard gameplay, a little bit of booming, perhaps with a wood trickle in age 1 and age 2. Yeah.
Look into Axeman's base.
Axeman's base is yellow. Axeman's base, yeah, some raiding going on. We'll take a look at units lost real quick, see if he was able to pick anything up. He has not so far. Causing some good idle time, though. A couple cav coming out, double cav out from Hawkgirl and Ironic Virus. I like that choice. Starting off early, getting some raids in, keeping your opponent on the back foot. And this trade post still has not been sieged down at all. Some cav and the monks getting on top of these skirmishers. Get a nice stomp on them. That could be really nice. Minutemen even called to defend. So really, a lot of value comes out of the monks and the cav there. Nicely done. We do see that the cav from Hawkgirl is able to just clean up the first batch from Axemen and keep the mobility advantage in their favor.
I've just seen that Total Chaos has gone Schooners 700 wood advanced dock, and I'm really confused by the advanced dock play because it doesn't speed up the production of fishing boats as far as I'm aware. That is only Schooners. Fishing boats are kind of a villagers type unit, and warships are ships. I know it's the ships train faster with the advanced dock, but I feel that 600 wood here much better for housing, more boats. Maybe you could go caravels, but advanced dock just seems a little strange. But poor Hazza, he's being raided, and his pure skirm mass is being caught out, and even John Raphael pushing forward with sea poisons. This is the John Raphael I like to see, raiding with sea poison, pushing in, and 8 pikes, nice shipment here, getting a good engagement with hussars. But now that the sea poison are in close combat, should also get a decent trade.
Yeah, nicely done. Total Chaos. One thing that's really nice about the 3v3 jail tournament, for those of you that are big supporters of the ESOC patch, it has, with respect to ESOC to ESOC, it's more of a 1v1 patch. It was not balanced specifically for team, and it's not a. Oh, this is actually pretty big. A lot of fighting coming in here. We're gonna pay attention to this a little bit, and I'll get back to that. The Minutemen called from Total Chaos, and they are able to push this back. So nicely done from the Minutemen called from both players, though, and villagers, skirmishers going down. It was a pretty nice trade, I think, for the Grills team.
Right side, we still see more hussars from Ottoman, and you don't often see Ottoman player going for cavalry opening, and looks like they're just valuing the raiding potential. They know that the Portuguese player is on the water, and they feel that they have that military advantage and can really press their advantage. Now on the opposite side to where Hazza is reinforcing, and that's where some of the musketeers are being sent to. So once they finish raiding left side, they just switch the sides and go to the right side. Possibly big raid top right though.
Yeah, there
no,
is an outpost
there.
there, so I'm not too worried about that. It is really good pressure coming out from the grills. Yeah, getting back to it. While ESOC has been primarily for 1v1 players and along those lines, there's a decent amount of team players. And one thing that this 3v3 JAILED tournament and the previous, well, specifically this tournament has done, well, we see a few villagers going down. That's really important. One thing that the 3v3 JAILED tournament has done is basically given a lot more opportunity for team players to be invested in the in ESOC patch. So those of you that are appreciative of ESOC, I really like that it has the 3v3 JAILED tournament has brought team players to EP. I know several players that have been reluctant to go to EP just because of the changes, because it's not balanced specifically for 1v1. But yeah, the ESOC community is growing. Age of Empires 3 community is growing, and that's good for everyone.
Yeah, very emotional speech. Almost had a tear in my eye there. We see Hawk Girl sending schooners looking to go into the water behind us too, and that's how he's going to grow his economy as Otto. As the game goes on, you can see Otto's eco at the moment is pretty poor. Not much economic population between this, but now 2 docks behind and sending boats. Is that Hawk Girl's flag in the North Sea? I do believe I see that in the sea. Yes, see I do. 2 galleys maybe sent. Like he could time that with the Admiral of the Ocean Sea age up, as well as 2 galleys, but no. Schooners and rendering plants. Hawk Girl is investing into his own economy play in the Southern Sea.
Yeah, I think that's a good choice. You definitely want to have a strong economy. Looking at the economy between the 2 teams, it is indeed Team Hazza's economy a little bit stronger based on the population. Ooh, some of those cav going down to that. That's rough. But yeah, a little bit stronger based on population. But there's been so much idling. I almost guarantee you that at this point in the game, the grills have collected more resources. More resources has been gathered by them. So it could be pretty interesting coming out here. We do see ports has gone on sea. Quite a bit of fishing boats. We're going to look at economic units so you can see how many each team has. It is 21 fishing boats. That's a decent amount. It's not a full-on boom quite yet. We'll see how many more are added. Hot Girl already up to 9. And yeah, you can look at some of the villagers that have been out so far. We do see 5 banks out from Dutch. That is good to note. Well done by him, booming well enough and trying to just defend from these raids.
If I'm being brutally honest, I really dislike Total Chaos's build. He's even now sent Team Coastal Defences, which, well, your North Sea is not really under contention anyway, and the fact that you still haven't even sent rendering plants where you're trying to base your economy in the sea, that late 600 wood, you've now spent it onto your fishing boats as well, but you have a sizable portion of eco in the sea and not sending an upgrade card for that feels really awkward. It feels like Total Chaos is expecting a 50 caravel shipment to the North Sea, and okay, there may be a few ships here and there, but sending 2 cards to basically shore up his own north side, it feels a bit of an overcommittal. But here come the Fuggies. Where's the rest of the Fuggies?
I don't know. All right, so purple is one other player. They are right here, and reds is also there. He needs to unload them though quickly. That's a lot of them going down. Unload them.
So, some of the Fuggies are still in the catamaran there. I don't think the entire batch from Ironic Virus has even got off. But yeah, there's one with a full batch running past some caravels. Rest in peace, those Fuggies.
Yeah. Okay. He does drop them off. That I like the Thuggies versus the muskets and versus the skirms. I don't know how much it's gonna actually do due to the
massive raid though. Massive raid. Surely this is working on right side.
Yeah.
There's so many CDs running back, and you see in the outpost. The CDB can't stay there. They have to run back. There's no military nearby to support them, and picking off at least 6 to 7 CDBs there. Good pickup.
Yeah, we see last game, Gene Ralphio saying, "What are Thuggies? I don't know this unit. What is it? What does it even do? How did he get them?" And this game, he ships them, and it is not a very common shipment, but it can be very effective in team. And we see that here. We see a lot of Thuggies still up. It is Oh, let's go to military units so we can count them out. Some thuggies going down here due to the cav. It is just 10 thuggies from Hot Girl. Team Yurumi also sent. So nice double team military shipment there. Very nice from them. We'll see if they can push this home to be as effective as it was in last game for Team Hazza.
Poor Axeman, he's essentially been knocked out of the game. He's lost many units. If you went to units lost, I think Axeman would be around about 15 CDB. He's down 10 CDB, but he's lost 30 Hussars. His score is looking pretty worse for wears, and Total Chaos really needs to make the most of this C eco who's been granted. You know, the other two players have basically bought time for Total Chaos to really get his eco going, but he hasn't got too many fishing boats out. He's not actually gathering wood at this point, and I feel that, you know, with so many fish in the sea and still like 4 whales to gather from, I'm wanting more fishing boats from the Portuguese player. It just doesn't feel that it's enough.
Yeah, we'll go to economic units for you guys. We see Axeman currently on 21 CDB, Total Chaos on 25 fishing boats, Hawk Girl on 16. But one thing that is worth noting in this game is that the Grills have been applying pressure the whole game. They've been raiding, they've been killing units, they've sent Team Thuggies, they've done a whole lot. And the opponent has not been able to be aggressive themselves. They have not pushed out. They have not raided very well. It's been fully defensive from them. And if you're playing fully defensive, it's really hard to win a game if you're never on the offensive.
On the bright side, though, both the Dutch player of Hazza and the Portuguese player of Total Chaos have some good eco behind, hardly disrupted, and now pushing out with Vet Skirms, a large mass of Reuters as well. Hazza has been favouring these 2-unit combos just to add that bit of flexibility here. Pushing out with Castles and Skirmishers without that Reuters support would have been suicide, but luckily for him, having those Reuters there as well. Ironic Virus, though, 4th age from the French player. He must have been fed to get there, actually.
Perhaps, yeah, he did go pretty economic build. We do see a fight coming here. This is really important. Skirmishers, Castadors, and Reuters. Abyss guns, Gurkha, and goons in the back. I like the composition from the Grills a little bit more, and a better mass from them too. The 155 military pop over to 80. There is thuggies in there. That inflates it some for sure. But yeah, really nicely done. Yurmi up in the front. That is a very pop efficient unit. And it looks like they're going to take this fight. It's a really close. One thing about this map is that the TCs spawn pretty close to each other. Look at where the Hawk Girl spawned, and then not very far away is Total Chaos. So you can quickly go to your opponents. Infantry can go from your base to your opponents very quickly. We see a raid coming in from Ironic Virus here, being cleaned up by the Reuters. We'll see if the Grills are able to push this home to victory. They do have a slight economic lead, huge military lead. We'll see if they can do it though.
Total Chaos sending 5 Mamluks, but beforehand sending Colonial Militia, and I'm struggling to see where these upgrade cards are. The Colonial Militia not feeling very useful in this situation here. Mamluks, great shipment though, but he's just lost that army that he had before, and now just having the 4 Mams feels a little bit weak. Starting to remass those castles behind this. Ironic Virus though, he's left alone. 2 TCs down, 1 factory has already been sent, and I'm sure it looks like Hawkgo and John Raphael are just buying time for the French player to get up a good eco behind this and then start pushing out late game with a strong eco based on 2 factories and guard-based units. And the other French player, Axeman, still in the second stage, completely out of the game at the moment.
Yeah, something really worth noting is that the Castadors are very good skirmisher type unit, but one of their strengths is their very high range resist, 50% range resist. That's completely ignored by the Abyss. We do see the Cav coming in though. The Sepoy not there to defend the Abyss or the Gurkha. They're coming over now, but that's some Abyss go down for sure in that. That's rough for them.
Yeah, Axeman having team hand cavalry attack instead of cavalry HP. Those Hussars go down very quickly, and versus, you know, double Fortress Age, Industrial Age opponents, Colonial Cav is not going to cut it at this point, and you see that entire Cav mass just melts without really accomplishing too much. And John Raphael and Hawkgo, they're just backing off. They've achieved what they wanted. Total Chaos has made 5 Orkan guns or 4 Orkan guns, and they've now seen that thinking, oh, we can just back off now. If you're making so much units like that, we'll just back off. ballroom mass ourselves. I'm playing as the Ottoman. I've got a massive fish eco. You see how Hawk Girl has sent rendering plans and fish market. Total chaos. No fishing upgrades. And I wonder if he's even researched gill nets and long lines for his boats.
Yeah, we'll take a look at that real quick. He has indeed done so. So, well done. No cards for it, though. We do see some of the organs going down. Organs good versus Abus. Abus good versus organs. It comes down to micro a lot. That's a lot of Abus out. As long as there's enough anti-cav, I don't see this army being pushed back very well. Abus in Age 2 are weaker on EP. In Age 3, they are stronger, though, getting an additional range, +1 range, and very good stats. Are there any thuggies left for blue? Let me see. No, there are not. I wanted to compare the stats for you guys. For anyone curious, you guys were asking in chat. The Team 10 thuggies cost 1k coin, and if not coordinated well, it can be a bad shipment to send in all reality, due to it costing 60 population for each one of your teammates.
I think the Thuggies are 210 HP and 45 range attack, but Indian Thuggies with the Brit Consulates, 235 HP with the residue Brit HP Consulate buff. So, yeah, strong units to be sending. Really strong from the Indian player as well. But Abus guns here, it's up to that unkillable mass of Abus guns. And Don Raphael now going to the 4th age, could be going for Honoured Seapoy and Honoured Yurumi. You also Yurumi Shadow Tech. Hawk Girl, massive eco behind this, sending 5 Spahies, but also nearly Hazza just to go to 4th age. I'm struggling to see a way back in for the other team of Hazza, Turkels and Axeman. But if there's only one player in this tournament who can mount a single-handedly comeback, it's going to be Hazza. Hazza did say that, you know, in 3v3s, it's punished. If you make a mistake, it sometimes can be easy to be come back from those mistakes. But there's more places to outplay your opponent in a 3v3, and Hazza even get a few Falconets out. Gurm, Raiters, good combo, but the 4 Culverins and Hawk Girl, like, he's got so much anti-artillery in his Abus guns, 4 Culverins as well, nice, but total chaos, 5 organ guns getting cleaned up straight away by the Culverins, and Honoured Yurumi onto this Raiter and Cassador. This army is just going to absolutely melt here, unfortunately.
Yeah, the Culverin's really good addition. That means you're not going to be sacrificing the Avis, taking them down, or even Goons for that matter. I really like that, and it looks like they have taken a game off of Team Hazza. Well done, GG from everyone. This was an excellent game. Well played from Hot Girls. We see Team Thuggies coming in, really did a lot again. Perhaps not as much as in game number 2. The whole strategy did not revolve around the Team Thuggies, but the Team 10 Thuggies does a lot. Lots of rating. I think if we had to chalk this up to one thing that really changed this game is all of the rating. There's a whole lot of rating done from Hot Girl and Ironic Virus, kept the opponent on the back foot the whole game, and yeah, it was really rough for Hazza. They felt like they were on the back foot. They tried pushing out in the mid game, but by that time, the economies of the girls team was just so much farther ahead. I really like that Hot Girl went on C when he did. He did not do it earlier, was able to get rating in because of it. And then he also went on at just the right time that he was able to take full advantage of it. So well done from both teams. We see that it is 2-1 in favor of Team Hazza. We're going to get on to game number 4 in a bit. Going to show you some post-game stats. It has been JaiLeD casting, and it is Harrison co-casting. Yeah. I'm excited to cast with you, Harrison. I really appreciate your help with co-casting the 3v3 games.
Oh, that's very nice of you. Can you check resources and see if Ironic Virus attributed any resources early on in the resources tab?
Nope, nothing.
No resources. So Ironic Virus having that bank of 500 food during transition felt super awkward, and I noticed a few players in the chat also feeling very puzzled there. So early game macro could be tightened up a little bit from the first lieutenant player there, but holding his own in a team and, you know, winning a 3v3 game against a major general must have been playing pretty well to do that. So fair play to him there. Also, Total Chaos' build order and card progression also something to be scrutinized. I really disagree with those cards being shipped. We saw Advanced Doc Team Coastal Defenses, and Colonial Militia, where all three of them just trade at least one of those cards out for fish markets or rendering plants, and then you just have so much more eco to back up your team then. And it felt that the strategy was reliant on Total Chaos getting a great eco out, and then can push forth with Age 4 Genet Dragoons with a massive food and coin economy behind it. But it looks like Total Chaos, it just seemed like he never kind of got to that kind of massive units and economy behind it. And it felt that there's so much more fish in the sea to be gathered. There's an extra 10 boats as well, and then an upgrade card would have made so much difference.
Yeah, for sure. It is worth noting that I think the main reason Harrison is saying those cards were bad is because of the map. On this map, you have your own relatively safe sea, and they did a really good job with a tower on the left, TC on the left, tower on the right, TC on the left, and making sure that the opponent was not getting docks up. It's really good on this map to boom really hard on a map where you're contesting C constantly. Both of you share the same C with your opponents. Advanced Dock can be good. Team Coastal Defenses can be good, but if you're trying to boom it out, those are not ideal cards.
Oh, Team Coastal Defenses is absolutely amazing when it's played in the right way and sent at the right time. I'm sure if you've not heard of this person before, certainly check out some of the older recordings on YouTube on the ESOC channel. A player by the name of Kinesi is one of the best water players you've seen, and certainly made the Advanced Dock card actually a bit more popular than it was beforehand, and really great water play. I'm sure Danny Ellick has watched many a Kinesi game thinking, I want a piece of that myself. So that's probably a way to get some good build orders. I've noticed that just generically in this tournament, but also in EPL, that it feels that some players lack the experience of going to water play. If you play land games every single time you play Age of Empires 3, you get really crisp builds, really good build orders, but when you go into something different like water, you feel like you're kind of feeding it out, not fully aware of what the best way to go about it is, and as a result, hinders the possibilities of what water play can do for you. Yeah.
Thanks for the follow, Sensei. Appreciate it. Yeah, there is on on our E, we see that. Let me finish typing this out. It's hard for me to talk and type at the same time, but yeah, we see on RE that there is a lot of games played on Deccan, a lot of games played on Great Plains, and those are not C maps. I know a lot of players do not know how to go C well. I thought I knew how to go C well before playing with majors, but come to find out that there's a lot to be desired there. I have improved, but yeah. C is definitely very different than land fighting, and going build orders and the micro on C is really important, and we see that displayed in some of these games.
Yeah, and Hazza, I'll tell you what was funny last game as well. Ottoman had 2 TPs the entire game. That TP in Hazza's base, the base of the Major General, was still standing by the end of the game. And Hazza had sent pikemen, had lots of skirmishers, and probably at certain points of the time had a bit of idle military. But that training post brought vision, it brought experience, and I can't believe Hawk Girl got away with that. That was just such a cheesy, disrespectful play in Age 1, but knowing it was not a wood crate start, and knowing you're the only player on the map which has the ability to drop down a training post within the first 30 seconds to a minute, that there was such an underrated play. I have to applaud Hotgar there. That was really smart thinking.
Yeah, really smart thinking from him. Additionally, in some of the questions, we're asking if Hazza can play Brit again if he won. If he won in this tournament, if you win with a civilization, you yourself cannot play that civilization again. Your teammates can play it again if they haven't won with it yet, but you yourself cannot. So that answers some of the questions. When is Optimus playing? Let me check the ESOC calendar real quick. Optimus is playing at 18 GMT, so it shouldn't be too long before they get into it. Yeah. All right, so this is game number 4. It is 2-1 up in favor of Team Hazza. The map is... Let's see what the map is going to be picked. They cannot go with Iowa because that was played for game number 1. They cannot go with Manchuria because that was played for game number 2. They cannot go with Malaysia, played for game number 3. Nepal and Granchako are the maps banned. So it leaves Dhaka, Cascade Range, and Fraser River left.
Please be Dhaka, please be Dhaka, please be Dhaka, please be Dhaka. I don't think it's going to be Dhaka, is it? It's going to be Fraser River. But please be Dhaka, please be Dhaka.
Yeah, based on the style of the games played. So, Team Hazza, let me think on the civilizations that they have. They're having to play it really carefully. Because they are not they're not a jack of all trades. They are a jack of few trades, master of only a few, or at least Axeman and Total Chaos is. So I expect there to be them to be going with a specific map with that in mind. Fraser River is a pretty decent map for specific builds. Cascade Range is a very rush-heavy map. If you do not have map control, you kind of just outright lose on that map. Dhaka is a lot of different options available. We'll see what they go with though. Yeah, all 3 of those are available. They can pick any civilization that they have not won with too. So yeah.
Yeah, not much else to say. What you guys you wonderful people in the chat could do. I can't remember exactly what website it is. I'm sure somebody knows off the top of their tongue, but there's a website you can watch 2 Twitch streams at the same time. Or if you have 2 monitors, you could probably have both streams up at the same time. But if you're wanting to catch the best of the team 3v3 action, as well as the best of 1v1 action, head to, is it multi-Twitch? That's what you got there?
Yeah,
you can
it's multitwitch.tv if you guys are curious.
Yeah, I'm sure the Optimus stream will be happening soon. Let me check to see on Discord to see actually if that is going ahead and who is casting that.
All right, getting back into it, Hazza was asking me if Germany can be played by Total Chaos, because he Total Chaos won game number 1 with it. He cannot. Yeah, that's the answer. I'm gonna let the players know.
Yes.
I'm sure they'll figure something out. I'm busy here chilling out in the 3v3 lobby.
Yeah.
Oh, we're on Cascade Range. That's interesting. Cascade Range, low resource map. Plenty of opportunities for aggressive play here. Water play here, not strong, but could be enough fish on one of the pond for one player to get a little bit of an extra eco benefit and help them pump out high food units like musketeers or hussars, but I don't think we'll see too much water play here. And most of the action will be focused on that central portion of the map in between all the native posts, or maybe at home, but emphasis is on the low resources here.
Yeah, it's both low resources and then basically no resources behind your TCs. It is very open. Let's say if Team Blue here, if this was a hypothetical game, Team Blue put an FB right here, the opponent would be forced to gather from a very wide area, but very thin area. It is all open to raiding. It's very susceptible to raiding, and usually we see players that are aggressive and make units early doing really well on this map. We see the stream, the viewers asking asking about a revolt. We do know that Team Hazza has done a revolt already in this tournament. We'll see if they do it again. That is a pretty great game in the past. They won with one villager. Their whole team had one villager, and they won with it. So if you are curious, go ahead and watch that back. It is Team Hazza versus Daniel's team, Fluffy Unicorns, if you guys are curious.
Cascade Range, remember, no trading posts here, so I'm expecting civilizations like India, like Russia, like Aztec, French probably, it's all right, but Brit would also be quite fine, but it's not high resource though. Dutch is a really strong pick on this map here, so I've seen a few. I think I've seen a Russia pick and a Dutch pick here. Japan by Hawk Girl has a Brit, Hawk Girl French.
Japan is an interesting civilization. On this map, there's a lot of berries. It also allows the hunts on the map, or on your side of the map, to be gathered by your teammates. So in a way, it extends the amount of resources that are available. Okay, absolutely says he'll up the stakes to $40 if Team Hazza's does not win. They might not. We'll see how it goes. Go ahead and stay tuned. I appreciate upping the stakes. But yeah, Japan it allows the resources to be extended, similar to Dutch, like you were saying. So while it's not a rush heavy civilization, it's okay on this map. We'll see if they give up too much map pressure with it, though. It's definitely an interesting choice.
Yes, I will be right back a second. I need to check on what time is my dinner and maybe get a bit of a snack. My belly is rumbling from all this casting. I've been doing it now for the last 4 hours, I think.
Yeah, go ahead and do that. I ate right beforehand. I expected to be casting a while. I will be casting a stream. I think I'll be casting the 20 GMT stream also. It is 2-1 in favor of Hazza. Yes. Yeah, it's gonna be rough. I don't know. So looking at, we'll just look at some of the PR for you guys. It is 32, 25, 28 versus 28, 26, 42. So yes, I would definitely say Team Hazza has an advantage when it comes to flexibility of civilizations. I think I would give the Grills team a little bit of an advantage. Thanks for the follow, Anna Luisa. I appreciate it a lot. You're awesome. I appreciate all of the support you guys have given for this stream, for Age of Empires 3, for 3v3 games, and also supporting me when casting ESOC tournaments. For anyone curious, there is the Optimus Prime versus Keister game that is going on in a couple minutes. I work closely with ESOC. They were really they really support me. We support each other a lot. I cast a lot for them, but they really support me. The players in this 3v3 final were not able to change their time. There was a little bit of conflict of schedule between ESOC and the 3v3 jail tournament. But at the same time, the ESOC tournament EPL between Riot and Jack Gaming was moved later due to this 3v3 jail tournament final, and I just really appreciate that. Shout out to them. Shout out to ESOC. Everyone be appreciative of ESOC. You're awesome. Taking a look at the chat real quick. Yeah, everyone thinks that Team Hazza is going to win. Hazza is very strong. Axeman and Total Chaos, not on their ideal civilizations, not the civilizations that they're very common with. So we'll see if Hazza can carry his team or not. Gonna be pretty interesting. We have Japan, Dutch, and French out from the Grills, and on the other side we have. Let's read it real quick. It is. Sorry, let me go up a little bit. It is French, Brits, and Russians. So French, Brits, and Russians, they definitely have more rushing potential than the other team, but it's not super high rushing potential. Yeah. Looking back at the chat for you guys, Germany is not allowed for P3. He is not going Germany. Who casts Keister versus Optimus Prime? Let me read that real quick. I am not sure. I'm not sure who is casting it. Either it could be Brooke. Brooke might be casting it, but I do not know.
Brooks never casted before. No, he won't be casting it at the moment. Unfortunately, I don't actually know. Maybe Riot, maybe Edie Hollands, maybe somebody. But at the moment, the chat hasn't exactly caught a light. So hopefully something can be sorted out. But in the meantime, though, good news from me. Turns out dinner today is not roast duck, but actually spaghetti bolognese. So I can reheat that later.
Nice.
Wouldn't want to miss out on a roast dinner.
Yeah, you guys wondering in chat, you have to play 5 civilizations. You do not have to play 5 civilizations. Only if you win can you not play with that civilization again. So you can play 5 different civilizations, but you only have to play 3 in order to win the 3v3 JAILED tournament finals. This is game number 4 between Team Hazza and the Hot Girls of the 3v3 JAILED tournament finals, and it's going to be a good one. Cascade range. We have French, Japan, and Dutch out from the grills, while Team Hazza has Russia, French, and British. This map favors rushing. We'll see if the rush from Team Hazza can do enough. We'll see if any of the strategies is a little bit... we'll see if the strategy from players is a little bit out of the ordinary, or if it's what we expect. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask in chat. I will try to respond to you guys. And yeah, this is an exciting game. Japan is somewhat of a controversial pick on this map. While it does extend the natural resources for your team, it also at the same time is not a very early game unit, a rush. It's not a rush civ. It's harder to get units out early. We'll see what they do with that, though. If they are able to shrine the opponent's hunts, that could be a nice addition to their game plan.
Yeah, I'm fearing for Hot Girls team having Japan and Dutch on a map like this versus Hazza playing as a Russian civ, and Hazza has won games at the highest level with the Russians, and I've seen him play team games as Russia before. Certainly very competent with his Russia play, and I'm expecting, to be honest, a really strong colonial play out from these Hazza's team. French player going Hussars here, but I'm sure Hazza will be asking the Brit player to be going Musk, and Hazza going Cossack Strelet. And the Dutch player of Ironic Virus, who some of his French play has been good, playing Dutch, maybe not his favourite civilization. He's kind of exposed on his own on the right-hand side, a little bit further and cut adrift from the other 2 town centres. I feel that Ironic Virus is going to have a very tough time this game.
Yeah, we'll see how much he booms. You can get a few banks up before getting units out, but if you go too many banks, especially on a map where you have Japan and it favors rush, it could be really, really rough. Do expect, like you're saying, skirmishers, Ashi, and Cav. On the other hand, we'll see if it's Strelets, Muskets, and Cav, or if it could be, like you're saying, Cav, Cossack, and either longbows or muskets. We'll see what they go with. It's going to be pretty curious. Definitely interesting. You can go a lot of different army compositions, and it's going to affect the gameplay a lot.
So from Ironic Virus's point of view, he can get the bank in transition from the first stage to the second stage, but I'm expecting that like 90% the correct play here from Ironic Virus as the Dutch is to go Breville, 1 bank wagon, and as you age up to the second stage, spends that 400 woods on a barracks and 2 houses. You cannot really play greedy here and make a bank on that 400 wood and send 700 wood afterwards. It's way too slow versus what you're up against. Hazza's already got his 14 villas queued up. I'm sure he's going to idle. He's going to macro his best to get a very fast 14 vil age up as the Russian player, and we'll have to check positions of forward base to see how this goes on. But if Ironic Virus is not the best with Dutch and not familiar with build orders, he may pick the wrong build wrong build order, and it might prove costly.
Yeah, it could prove costly for sure. Looking at the decks real quick, there's some interesting things to note. We see that Team Hazza, every single player has Spice Trade. It's a card that ups your hunting and berry bush gathering by 20%. So it can be pretty nice on a map with a lot of berry bushes, and we do see that this map has that. Looking over at the French duck from Hot Girl, it has native cards. Natives on this map is pretty strong. Nuka and Klamath. They're both pretty good units. Nuka, high HP, somewhat low siege, and somewhat low attack, but high HP, very good at tanking damage. Klamath is a skirmisher type unit. We have seen I've seen the natives work really well on this map in team games. We'll see what he goes with though. Worth noting, if you do not have the 25% cheaper natives in Age 3, which he doesn't, it can be, if you're relying on them a lot, it can make a big difference. Additionally, in team games specifically, he does have, of course, some really good cards though for natives, having the 25% attack and HP, 15% attack and HP, and then 20% HP for both your CDB, skirmishers, and natives. So French have some of the best natives in the game. We'll see what he goes with. We do see villagers coming forward here, and the scouts all out from Hawk Girl on top of it. That's really nice. If they can siege down a blockhouse while it's going up, that is going to delay their rush a whole lot.
Yeah, but that blockhouse is going to go up without a problem. He's pulling one vill back, but the fact that there's no native units here, these villagers will be alive for so long because these explorers just do so little damage to these guys. Once that foundation is put down, yeah, that blockhouse is going up. Ooh, actually, it's close to sieging it down there. It's gone. It's gone.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
I've seen that happen several times in team. It can be really, really rough. They are not. It's going to delay their siege a whole lot. They are taking down the envoy. Kind of funny, but yeah, you have 4 different explorers. Of course, the Japanese monks, not amazing. They have 10 siege compared to the explorer of the Europeans having 15 in Age 1. But honestly, even if the blockhouse does not go down completely, it can go down after it gets up. We do have an explorer. Japanese monk just goes down right there. I think perhaps it's a good choice that it stayed there though, because it's going to revive and be able to siege it down right again. So yeah, it's actually perhaps fortunate that it went down instead of going back to base. The blockhouse goes down again. It's crazy. This rush is delayed so much. We can also see how far back this FB is. It's instead of being over here, it's way back here. So it's going to affect the rush of Hazza's team a whole lot. This third one might even go down. That's so close. Hazza saying he loves this game.
It's going to go down. The reason why it is because all the explorers in the second age, and they all have combat bonuses. They get stronger as the age goes up, so their siege damage is going up, and that increases their damage by, remember each siege is ×4 versus foundations. I'm surprised they didn't try to fully commit for that blockhouse. Hazza been super frustrated, and Arak has bought time for Arak Virus to go 700 wood. One thing I wanted to comment from you looking at the deck though, Hawk Girl, no crossbows, no hussars in deck, no unit shipment as well. I dislike that choice on this map. You are so at risk from an aggressive play from the opposing team, and okay, that blockhouse is on so low HP, but I'm sure Hazza is frantically getting the woods to repair it, and I think the repair is happening right now. He spent some wood, and yeah, that repair is happening.
Yeah, well done by him. But yeah, 103 HP. If that went down a third time, that would have been so rough. But it's already super delayed. His first batch of units is going to be out so late. Yeah. Reading chat real quick. You guys were asking, how does a Dutch, Japanese, and Turtle Wall play out? It can work, but the walls on EP have half the HP of RE, so it can be rough. Looking at this, it is indeed double cap. Currently, the Cossack shipped from Hazza, trying to get some map presence early. Skirmishers out. I think Minutemen needs to be called here. We do see some Ashy in melee mode coming forward. The Minutemen is called. They are going to push this back. That's really close there. They are able to push it back though. And nice start out from the Grills. That blockhouse coming up so late. The first batch of Strelets coming out. I don't know exactly what time that was, but around 6:45. That is really, really rough for Team Hazza. It's going to give the Grills team a very good fighting chance at winning this game.
Yeah, John Raphael, 4-0 as well. That's not even sending 600 woods or a 5 ashy shipments, and can't believe that this team is getting away with this amount of greed due to all that time bought from that early Explorer engagement. But now that the military unit population from Hazza's team are starting to swell up, Hawkgirl trying to go for a raid, but if those Hussars go into the French player's base, well, great, good raiding, but Hazza's army is just going to turn right back onto your own base. Another batch of Hussars here. I feel that Hazza now sending 700 woods will get another second batch of Strelets out, and will be looking to push. He still has his Cossacks at a decent HP. He hasn't lost them. He's been very careful to keep them on the board. They're so strong for what the Russia army kind of needs, and he's got all 5 alive at the moment. Force Ironic Varus into a 3 Hussar shipment and Minutemen. That certainly paid off for Hazza.
Yeah, well done. Good aggression onto Ironic Virus. He only has 2 banks. Third bank coming up with a bank wagon there. So, like you were saying, he didn't go too greedy early on. I think that was a good choice. He does get some skirmishers out early. The 3, he is forced to send the Minutemen though, and also the 3 Hussars. So, well done. Looking at military population, it is definite advantage over to Team Hazza. There is Strelets in there, not a very pop-efficient unit. But on the other hand, it is Ashy Skirms, and they're going forward. This is rough. That's a lot of cav out. Let's go over to military units quick for you guys. It is 14 Hussar, only 7 for Hot Girl, 18 Ashy to 31 of Total Chaos, and 14 Skirmishers, 6 Minutemen, 3 Hussar, versus 30 Strelets, 4 Cossack. It looks like there's, okay, a little bit of fighting going on there. And we see the Hussar actually picking off a villager here. Nicely done. This is a lot of aggression coming into Hot Girl. We'll see if they're able to hold it off. There is defender's advantage. That's going to affect things a lot. We see a stable coming up from Japan. Very interesting. That would be for Naginata. But we'll see if he goes for it or anything. That would be interesting here.
John Raphael has enough resources for a 5 batch of Nagis and maybe some barracks units as well. I like how they've switched their attack and gone to the Japan player base, pulling the army across. Hawkgirl's actually aging up, and Hawkgirl's been raising quite a bit, but I don't think Hawkgirl's playing into the fact that it's, 3 players from Hazza are committing to pure colonial aggression here. All the players on Hazza's team are spending all their resources as they come in onto military units, and Hawkgirl in the 3rd age, no training post. I dislike this age up call here from Hawkgirl, and I feel that the military numbers, it's double population for Hazza's. I know the Strelets are pretty pop inefficient, shall I say, but you're losing units hand over fist compared to what's coming out from Team Hazza here.
Yeah, it is pretty common as semi-FF from France. We see that this fight is actually pretty close. The Ashy have done really, really well protecting the skirms from the cav. We do see Naginata coming in on the skirmishers. Minutemen called from Hot Girl, getting goons out also. Yeah, this is actually really close due to the defender's advantage. We'll see if they're able to pull it out, though. That is definitely more military pop over to Team Hazza, 75 to 45 currently. Of course, there's Strelets, but they definitely have the military advantage. We'll see if the defender's advantage can come in clutch, though, and allow them to push this back or not. There is just a couple cav left. Those need to go down to keep the skirmishers safe. The skirmishers are what are the main point, the focal point of the Grill's military currently. We do see Falconets out though. That's big. Falconets onto the Musketeers and the Strelets. That is going to be able to push them back. Really, really nicely done there.
Well, those Falconets are vulnerable though. They've got nothing, no other units nearby. A bit of a lag spike here, so hopefully no players drop in and it can carry on. Notice how Hazza's Strelets were leading the Musketeers, taking the skirmisher fire, protecting the high value unit shipment value of the Musketeers behind. Naginata batch coming in behind this, but I still think this is looking very strong for Hazza's team now. A couple of Naginatas on top of those Musketeers. Musketeers going to hand combats. Strelets behind. I'm assuming the Falcons are still up. Falcons are, one's gone down actually, and a Colonial Hussar has picked up the second, and both of those Falcons going down, and that's disaster for Hawkgirl with his semi-fast fortress. Only 2 dragoons to his name, but there's just still so many other units, but actually good hold here from the skirmisher. Ironic Virus, he's holding his team together at this part, and so far it's well played to Ironic Virus.
Yeah, we see the military advantage is back over to the Grills team. I adjusted it so there wasn't as many bars. I'm sorry, Daniel. I am proving my stream as much as I can over time, and I'm taking advice from all y'all. Yeah, skirmishers are forward. They are doing a whole lot. The skirmishers, a good skirmisher mass. They did a whole lot for sure there. Really good micro from the players. I like the micro from pretty much everyone. Perhaps Axeman using his cav a little bit better on the skirmishers would have been nice, but the Ashy protecting the skirmishers really, really well, so I can't really blame him for that. But yeah, really good fights all in all. We do see advantage over to the Grills. We see Japan aging to 3 right now. He is aging... which wonder is that? I'm not quite sure yet.
That's gonna be the Golden Pavilion. So Yumi Archer
Yeah.
plus basically advanced arsenal and upgraded units.
Yeah, that's going to be really, really nice for his infantry that he is out. I like the rating out from Hawker. We see some idle villagers out from Axemen, focusing on the fighting perhaps a little bit. He is trying to snare these Ashy, allow the Strelets to clean them up really well. We see Spice Trade sent in by Total Chaos just now. Spice Trade sent in already by Axemen. That's very interesting. I think they intend to stay H2 for a while and push this home. We'll see if the double H3 is going to hurt the Grills or allow them to push back. We do see the skirmishers coming over now. Skirmishers, honestly, one thing really interesting, of all 3 of these civs, I think I would value the Dutch going to H3 sooner than French or Japan due to the shadow upgrade of the skirmishers and how important skirmishers are in this match. But yeah, we see Japan hitting H3 now. It's going to be really, really close here. We'll see if they are able to hold or not.
Yeah, Dutch player now age up to the 3rd age. And I feel that all 3 of your team going to the 3rd age a little bit risky here. Ironic Virus could just stay and mass out. Could even go for a few Hussars as well because he has that skirmisher mass, and you've already got enough units here just to whittle away the Strelets and Musketeers. But Hawk Girl reinforcing with Dragoons, topping any Cossack switch here. Hazza's aged up behind this. What I would say so far, it appears that Hazza's team have played semi-aggressive. They haven't been all in. All 3 players now have sent in that Spice Trade card, as you mentioned before. But Total Chaos' build, 700 wood, 5 vil, 600 wood. Well, there wasn't a 6 Musketeer card there. There wasn't a 700 coin funding production for double Musketeers. It's actually not really been that aggressive, and I feel that if they were more aggressive, they could have really put one of these players out of the game, but I suppose maybe they adapted after that delayed blockhouse due to the Age 1 Explorers.
Yeah, your build order based compared to your opponents is very important, and perhaps we were expecting, or Team Hazza was expecting, more aggressive play or units coming out early, not aging up quite as quickly from the Grills. But the Grills, they call them on it, call them on that bluff. We see that Team Hazza going a slightly boomier than what they would expect their opponents possibly to go with lots of H2 aggression, and they... a really big raid coming in here. A few villagers going down. That's going to be 2 villagers, 3, probably 4 at least going down. Pikes coming over though. That's it's nice to have those pikes there. We see that all 3 of the players from the Grills are H3. Hazza is in H3, and we have Axeman going to H3 right now. Some nice pickoffs from Hazza there.
Yeah, certainly. Always nice to get raiding potential here, but I guess you're trying to raid to come back into it, and Dragoons picked off villagers who are trying to throw down a blockhouse, and they've picked up their prize and they're retreating before losing to the Strelets, and now join the rest of John Raphael's Ashes and Ironic Virus' skirmishers sieging down one of the buildings in the middle. Total Chaos here trying to move around to try and cut off those Dragoons, but actually the army linking up together from Team Hawk Girl, and I have to say, Hawk Girl's team are in a commanding position, especially because we have the 2 really strong civs on this map in terms of balanced eco and strong military, the Dutch and the Japanese into that 3rd age. John Raphael having disciplined units as well as that range attack, massive mega buff from the Golden Pavilion as well. Real strong units, and at the moment Total Chaos it feels like he has the eco and military, but he needs to age up and follow up behind if he wants to stay competitive.
Yeah, for sure. We see a second TC out from Japan already. We see a second TC out from Hot Girl being scouted by Total Chaos, though. Some really big raids. Let's go to units lost real quick so we can see how many villagers have been lost on both sides. Hot Girl losing 9 CDB, Ironic Virus 8, 4 out from John Raphael. And Hazza lost 5, Total Chaos 3, and Axeman 1. So definitely a better rating from them. But we see that Hot Girl's team, just with the banks and the shrines, they still have the economic lead. They actually are behind in military population lead, but perhaps okay, sorry. I thought that was opponent's Falconets. But yeah, this fight coming up is gonna decide. It may not decide the game outright, but it's gonna play a big factor into it. It is gonna be really important. Lots of map control out from Team Hazza, and we see the Grills not having as much map control, but they have a strong military. If they are able to fight this back, it could be really, really good for them.
Czech has his Oprichniks moving into the Japan player base, looking on to be on the North coin mine there, getting some good raiding in with those Oprichniks, and looks like the other team need to be very careful with their Dragoon support. Hazza, with his great micro, will be managing to squeeze the most value out of those Oprichniks. Total Chaos, though, staying age 2, massing up a huge number of units. I like this cavalry switch as well. Really nice, adds a bit of extra depth to this army. Already losing 71 musketeers, though. So he's paid a lot to try and keep his pressure, but now that he's massing pure Musk Huss, it's just complementing the Strelets of Hazza, and these units just trade very, very well, and even the Ashigaris can't really take on this Strelet trade, and they have to kind of back off there. Axeman in the third age, still messing around with Colonial Hussars. I wonder what he's trying to follow up with. He does send 3 Cuirassier shipment, maybe train Cures. I think it's like a reinforcing batch of 4 or 5 on the way, so it could be a big time in here from the French player of Axeman.
Yeah, we see that Team Hazza has done really, really well protecting their Falconets. That's really, really important. The goons are going to come in now and clean them up, or at least one of them. That's well done. Lots of Strelets there. He's going to lose some goons in the process. Not as many as I would have expected, but several cavalry and the like going down for him. Militarily, it looks like Team Hazza is securely in the lead right now. Economically, slight edge to the Grills. This is a really close game. Defender's advantage over to the Grills. We'll see if they are able to pull away with it or not. This is going to be a really, really close fight.
Yeah, Total Chaos still second age though. I think at this point you need to think about mixing in longbows. Longbows probably a little bit better than Colonial Musketeers, especially with a age 3 skirmisher. Instead of like Ironic Virus though. No upgrade cards yet from Ironic Virus, so no infantry combat or cav combat. Sent cards like 9 Orator, 8 Skirmisher. John Raphael though, sends in 7 villagers twice, but he's been raided by the Oprichnik raids. I think there's another Oprichnik raid on the southwest side as well going on, so more casualties going down for John Raphael. If you look on the units lost, I wonder how many villagers he's now lost, and it could be around about 20, and that's a lot of eco to lose, especially if you're sending shipments like 7 vil. It's like John Raphael has sent a shipment, then pressed the delete key.
Yeah, really, really done from Team Hazza. They've done a great job of raiding. Lots of villagers going down. You can see how many from each player has gone down. That's what gives them is allowing them to almost have the economic lead right here. Just the rating alone. We see how important the rating is. I do like the cannons out from Ironic Virus. That's really well done from him. Top-notch playing from both teams. So I really, really like this. Perhaps a little bit of walling would go a long way in denying some of these raids, though.
Hazza carrying his 2 teammates on either shoulder here, but those Oprichnik raids are very, very nice. He's also sent Strelet combat though, so Hazza's Strelets, Boyards and Strelet combat. Boyards also bust the Oprichnik, so these Oprichniks are a little bit stronger, can tank more damage, but also may kill a villager in one less swing, which can be crucial. I haven't actually worked out if it is crucial or not, but Hazza has sent lots of upgrade cards now. Even sent in 1,000 coin. I'm expecting that Hazza's got 2 stables down really to make the most out of that 1,000 coin shipment, because Strelets don't cost coin. So we'll have to see what Hazza wants to tech into. Could be an artillery foundry in Culverins.
could be that. That would be a nice choice. It also could be going to age 4, although I do not expect that with his food income. He does have 36 villagers on food, though. He would be able to grab 2k food pretty quickly. We see some more raiding coming in. The cavalry being picked off. Opportunik's doing a lot in the back, though. I'm going to go over to units lost real quick. You can see that 32 villagers lost for Jean-Raphael. Jean-Raphael, I can't talk it. Anyways, Jean-Raphael, that's how I said it before.
It's definitely not Gene.
Yeah. Jean-Raphael, is that how you say it?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's close enough.
John Raphael. Okay, I'll just say it that way. But yeah, looking good from him, or looking good from Team Hazza onto that. Definitely a lot of damage over to Team Hazza. To the Grills. We'll see if they're able to hold on, though. The economies are neck and neck, 189 to 189. Military pop, 170 or 160. Wait, where's the fighting going on? Right here.
Currently going to the 4th age. Bob who's going to the 3rd age, so it looks like Hazza's team's backing off just to get a bit of tech in behind this. Hazza's still in the 3rd age, though, but I believe he's massing units, though, and this could be a time for John Raffles to push out, but losing all those villagers is just certainly not great. Those 3 Falconets at the moment unchallenged, and but no, Culverin's coming in top side. That was a Culverin shot from Hazza, and yes, it was Artillery Foundry, and Culverin's coming from the Russian player off that 1,000 coin shipments. Hazza once again bringing out the units when he needs them, as it feels like Alright Varus's push has just basically crumbled. Skirmishers into Strelets, not great. Dragoons into Strelets, not great. And these Strelets double carded, super strong units at the moment.
Yeah, we do see John Raphael is pushing on the left side, not defending his teammates. We'll see if that is a good thing or a bad thing. Actually, have very high siege, and it looks like Team Hazza is coming back to defend him. So perhaps that was a really good choice, in fact. We'll see if he loses his Ashy without getting a lot of damage done or not, though. It's going to make an impact for sure. Very aggressive walling out from... that's defensive walling. Sorry. Some defensive walling out from the Grills. I think that's a good choice with this many raids coming in. It's just going to help direct the raids a little bit. So a lot of CDB coming down from these Ashy. So well done by him. We do see all of the armies being pulled back for this push, though, from the Ashigaru. Looking at the scores, I definitely would give the Grills a bit of an advantage. This is a very, very close game. It is 219 eco versus 191. Thanks for the follow, M. Mills. Appreciate it a lot. Yeah, Axeman. Axeman canceled the age up. He canceled the age up to 4.
I don't know if it's cancelled or his forward town centre got sacked. I can't remember if he had 2 TCs or not, but the fact is, Axeman has been ravaged by these Ashy Garrus. He tried to fight them off with Dragoons, but lost his entire Dragoon mass. Axeman has hardly got any units out on the map at the moment, and is really struggling at the moment, and Hazza has to come over to save the day once again. But even Total Chaos, losing a couple of vills to those Roman Ashies, and you can just see these Ashy Garrus just going from one town centre to another, making full use of their 4.5 speed, and they're just such an annoyance to deal with.
Yeah, Ashigaru have 4.5 speed. Most infantry have 4. Strelet's one of the few units that actually have decent speed themselves with 4.5. So they are chasing them down. But elsewhere on the map, it looks like the military advantage is back over to Team Hazza. Economic advantage still in the Grills team. I don't know who I like more in this position. I like all the rating out from Team Hazza a lot. It's doing a whole lot, but economically, the Grills are still in the lead, and we have France going to age 4 right now. Hawkgirl should be able to do a lot with this age 4 timing. We do see the natural resources for Team Hazza almost all cleaned up, while the Grills are already on several mills, plantations, and rice paddies. So we'll see what happens shortly. It's a decent amount of villagers going down here from Hazza. Strelet's coming in and doing a number on those Ashy, but the damage has already been done. Those Ashigaru have done a lot of work already, calling back some of the army from Team Hazza and killing a lot of villagers in the process.
Yeah, and they were pushing out into Hawkgirl's base. Strelet Musketeer, but only 2 of them. Axeman nowhere to be seen, and he's stuck in limbo. He has lots of resources, 1800 wood, 1800 food. He doesn't really know what he wants to spend it on. He's actually getting a native TP instead as well, and maybe rebuilding a town centre down to the south side, but there's quite a few shrines for Japan down that south side as well, but he seems to be out of the game for quite a while, and now that there's Hussars from Arak Varus coming to put a straight up mass, these straight have to back off, and they're cheap units, but you can't just keep throwing away, waiting for the Musketeers to come back in, but they need the French player to kind of help out and come here. Maybe Hazza might need to tribute some resources. Hazza though, refrigeration, Royal Mint, going to the 4th age now. Like can Hazza essentially 2v3 this or 1v3 this? We have to find out. But Hawk-Go, Gendarmes now out the field. Well, no, they're still veteran cuirassiers. They're not Gendarmes yet.
Yeah, they're just veteran cuirassiers. Looking at some of the civilizations, I would probably give the Grills an advantage late game. Dutch on EP has a pretty decent eco, but it's going to be really, really close. Of course, Russia with a really cheap Strelets are really good in and of themselves. Brits pretty decent. Japan though is a really, really good late game civilization. Yeah, it's going to be close. We do see the walls coming out from the Grills. They've had enough of this raiding, but really good thing to point out is that Team Hazza has control of this lake and basically this lake too, so they can still get raids in through fishing boats or through boats if they decided to. So yeah, we'll see what they do with that.
Hawk-Go though, I'm just looking at his card progression. 2,000 woods, and then refrigeration, Royal Mint, Cav Combat, Eco Theory, and then 1 factory. Second factory surely behind this, and that explains how Hawk-Go is nearly on 400 score at this point, and Hawk-Go has successfully managed to go to the Industrial Age and have a massive eco behind. At the moment, it looks like he has about 70 vills, could even then send 10 CDB card as well, once on 79 CDB for an extra overpop on villagers. Probably don't need to send that actually at this point, and I wonder what else Hawk-Go can send, but he's certainly nearly been reaching that kind of final form French scary stage, and Axeman is in a complete different world, 230 points worse off, and has only just sent Royal Mint now, but hasn't even sent refrigeration, and he's trying to get back in. It looks like he only has 50 CDBs, and Dragoons pushing in from Hawk-Go. We have Ashy Garus and Skirmishers. Looks like Arak Varus now going to the 4th age behind this. I'm sure John Raphael will soon be looking to go to the 4th age as well. Japan very scary with their honoured units, and yeah, I think it's a bit too much for Hazza's team to deal with, and it's getting really dicey now. Gendam Cuirassiers out in the field, but there's also Vet Hussars already on the Skirmishers, not even needing the Gendam supports. Soon it's going to be an absolute bulldozer from Hawk-Go's team on what Total Chaos has got.
Yeah, one thing that's really important to point out is that France is really good versus Russia. It's one of Russia's worst matchups when it comes to late game specifically, and we see this here. We see that the economic advantage for the Grills has been a slight advantage the whole game, and it has been paying off. They're pushing out. They are taking the map back. They are doing a lot with being on the back foot pretty much the whole game. The Ashy in the back raiding. The Skirmishers, Cav, Goons, and Cuirassier doing really, really well from the Grills. We'll see if they are going to continue this though, if they're able to keep up this push or not. I think they need a little bit more Skirmisher type units to deal with this, although there is a whole lot of that. Oh, okay, there's a lot of pikes out. All right, a lot of pikes out for Team Hazza is going to be able to defend from all of that Cav from the Grills.
You can see that Hawk-Go, they're working with each other. They're pulling back because 2 players age into the 4th age. Arak Varus just hitting the industrial age now. 1 shipment ready to go. We'll be sending the factories. John Raphael also into the 4th age. And Hawk-Go, I guess he's trying to trade off now that he's successing the 4th age and has lots of resources, so can try and continue this fight. But even just putting this army so far off center is just giving time for the other players to get to the next stage and get the tech going. But that ward from Arak Varus, very nice, just getting those Dragoons back to safety and just buying even more time, and I'm sure we'll see guard skirm coming very soon for Auric Varus. He does have infantry combat as well, so his skirms are very, very strong as well. Auric Varus, 3,000 food. Hawk Girl, 3,500 food. They're certainly stacking lots of resources, and they're not actually pressured at the moment. They're taking their time, and they're in a very comfortable position.
Yeah, for sure. We just see it's sort of a civ advantage when it comes to booming. We saw some excellent rating out from Hazza, good rating out from Total Chaos, but yeah, the Japan and Dutch, excellent boom civilizations. British is also a pretty good boom civilization. Russia, France is they're okay. They're perhaps a little bit above average, but Japan and Dutch just making it work with the boom. Well done from them. This is a good mass of longbows and a decent amount of anti-cav here. That's a lot of cuirassé there. Are they going to clean this up? There's a little bit of a choke point there. Perhaps I'd even delete those walls as Ironic Virus. He needs to get those cav in instead of just sitting idle behind. With cav coming in from the other side, though, that's going to be huge. No pikemen there to defend them. That is perhaps some missed micro from Total Chaos. Pretty much all of the pikes going down already, though. That's a lot of them have already died. This is a really, really good fight from the girls. I think they're going to take this fight.
Yeah, guard skirmishers in the back, focusing down all the heavy infantry, trying to melee down the cuirassiers, but there's so much HP on these units, tanking the cavalry archers as if they're absolutely nothing. Even guard dragoons picking off units in a fairly decent way, and it's just one-way traffic at the moment. The only military population substantial for Hazza's team is Hazza's Strelets, but that's a lot of military population, but not a lot of military strength. Hawk Girl sitting at 200 out of 200 population and maintaining a great play here himself, just keeping that population high and making them use out of his tech, his strength, even sending team infantry range combat, which is a very strong card here for Hawk Girl. Nice to see that he sent that card instead of Cav HP for his team benefit.
Yeah, it is really good there. I like team cards a lot. I like players that are not greedy with their card order. You can do a whole lot with the team cards in a 3v3, and well done from him. We do see Daimyo out with flaming arrows and some Ashy. Gonna definitely need enough Ashy to defend that, but really good army composition from that is available from Japan with the Ashy and the flaming arrows. We see a good amount of skirmishers out here. Lots of gendarme. Yes, gendarme out now, and the goons behind. I like this army composition. Gonna need some more skirmishers. He does have more skirmishers coming forward. I like this a lot. Neither team has any cannons here. That could prove a deciding factor in this fight if they added them or not.
Yeah, it looks like John Raphael is playing his own 1v1 with Axeman on the left-hand side, and I'm sure over time he'll win that fight, but he has the flaming arrows being sent to that Daimyo, and those flaming arrows could work really, really well with his army, but looks like they're being picked off by this Dragoon mass from Axeman, and John Raphael, if it feels like there's a bit of synergy of cross-putting together, but I suppose he's just distracting one player and letting Hawk Girl absolutely run rampant, aging up to the 5th age now behind this. Strong eco, 50 villagers on point behind this with Royal Mint and Textile Mill, I believe is the upgrade card he has sent. 2 factories as well, and factories be on wood, hoping that Hawk Girl will be able to get the capital down, as well as Imperial Gendarmes straight away, so going for the upgrade cards, eco upgrades after the Imperial Gendarmes, but looks like he's got enough resources to invest in both the military and eco because he's just not losing. He's not losing his units. That's the nice thing about Hawk Girl. It's not like he's having to continuously pump out units. They're just standing around. So all that eco he's gathering is just going to be spent onto upgrades, which is going to be so strong.
Yeah, definitely. Hawk Girl, we see the eco out from the grills, and all they're maxed out on eco basically. On the other hand, we see 98 villagers from Hazza, 66 from Total Chaos, and 68 with a few scattered fishing boats and whatnot from their team, and that is why the economy is so much better for the grills. They are just they're maxed out on eco. They're doing a whole lot. I think they're gonna win this game, but anything can happen. This is there's a lot of different things that can happen that can swing this game. Cannons is gonna make a difference. I definitely like the position from the grills more though. It is 235 to 139 in military population and still an advantage economically too.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for this game to reach its natural conclusion. When you have one team age 4 and 2 age 3 versus one team with age 5 and 2 age 4, it feels like at some points the players need to realise that the fight, they may win the fight, but they will not win the war. And even going for guard Cossack from Hazza, nice play here, but no cav combat being sent yet. These Cossacks are boyard, but with no cavalry combats. It just feels like they're missing that final upgrade to make them very decent. But guard Cossacks versus Imperial Gendarmes, it doesn't even come close, unfortunately.
Yeah, we do see that the army, or at least the gendarmes are cleaned. The gendarmes are cleaned up by Hazza. Well done by him, but he has still goons in the back of the base, and he needs to perhaps defend these skirmishers here. The Cossack out from Hazza is really nice, but yeah, we see H5 out from Hot Girl, H4 from John Raphael, and Ironic Virus in H4 also. On the other hand, it's Hazza with H4, and both of his teammates are H3. So, yeah, definite advantage over to the Grills right now. They are pressuring everywhere on the map. I would like perhaps to see perhaps a water play, but we see that Team Hazza controls the water. I like the decision to wall this here, although he hasn't quite finished it. Just kind of denying raiding potential. Yeah, lots of raids out now from the Grills, and I expect them to take this game. If so, it'll be 2-2, and we're going to go to game number 5, or the 3v3 JAILED tournament finals.
Yeah, just look at the military populations. It's 1 versus 3. This is so unfair for Hazza. He's trying his best to hold on, but Total Chaos and Axeman are out of the game at the moment. They have no economy, no military, and if one person can do a 1v3, it is Hazza, but versus a Lieutenant Colonel who's Imperial age as French. Just save yourself the mental capacity and move on to the next game, to put it politely. Like even catching the Imperial Gendarmes with your Tartar loyalists, it's good, but actually, do they even trade cost efficiently at this point? I don't actually know, to be honest. It's such a difference between guard cav archers versus Imperial Gendarmes, and yet the resigns are finally coming, and GG will be coming out, and it looks like it's going to be 2-2.
Yeah, 2-2, really good. It is indeed at this point. If the gendarme get on top of goons in Imperial Gendarme, it's pretty fair cost trade. Sometimes even advantage over to the gendarme. You see how powerful those Imperial Gendarme are, and versus the Strelets, they're going to clean them up a whole lot, or really easily. The Cossacks aren't going to do a whole lot. The only way to clean up the gendarme, unless you have like Doppelsoldners or Samurai, is to use a unit composition of Halbs and the Cavalry Archers, but with Skirmishers backing them up, that's not going to do a whole lot. So really, really well done from the Grills. It looks like they are going to take game number 4 here, and we're just waiting for Hazza to resign and call it.
I think Hazza's having a bit of fun here. He's got so much eco. He has production available. He's just going to try and hold on for the fun of it, I think, and for the stream. Alright, Varus sends in the aggressive GG, and looks like Hazza has finally typed GG himself, and yeah, there you go. The resign eventually comes in, and yeah, really good game. I just feel that the early explorers denying that early Russian outpost so huge, and the amount of wood that cost Hazza as well as lost gathering time for those 3 vills and delayed Cossacks being sent to the town centre. It had a ripple effect. But I felt for the other teammates, Axeman and Total Chaos, weren't fully engaged, weren't fully invested in a rush. So maybe the call was to kind of put some pressure on, but play eco behind. But they could have really tried to stamp out one of the players. But actually, once Hawkgirl got to the 3rd age and got a few Dragoons out, Falconets, it was Ironic Virus actually coming to the rescue there with his skirmisher, Hussars, that period of time to save them from Hazza's Strelet push and Total Chaos's Musketeers. You can see that in the military population, it's just green, it's just yellow, red, and pink, all high lines in that kind of 10-minute mark. But then eventually, the French player got his mojo. Japan found his awesome mojo, and it's pushed out. And
Japan found his chi.
Found his chi, and Axeman just fell apart. He lost his cheese.
Yeah, we see how late the first batch of Strelets came out. 6 minutes 12 seconds. That's pretty late.
So brutal.
Yeah.
So not Hazza, but it is Hazza. But it was just so well played by the other team for coordinating the explorers in such a good way of doing so.
Yeah, if I had to chalk this game up to one thing, it would be, of course, the civs. The civ difference is going to play a big factor, but that blockhouse, like you were saying, blockhouse being delayed so long was so instrumental in being able to defend the early rush. Really, really well done from the Grills. They take game number 4, so it is 2-2. We're going to get to game number 5. I am so excited. We have all 5 games for the finals. This is man, I'm excited. This is some really good gameplay.
Oh yeah, this is the deciding game, isn't it?
This is the deciding game. It's a best of 5. Both teams win 2 apiece, and they go to game number 5.
You know what? I was kind of hoping for a quick 3-0 and say, like, oh, thank you, JaiLeD. I'm happy to co-cast. Now I can go off and get some food. But that was a slog, that game was. And we'll now go for a 5th game, which could even be much more of a slog. And who knows? It could be Dhaka coming up next. Let's cross our fingers.
Dhaka River or Fraser... sorry, I mixed those up. Dhaka or Fraser River. Yeah, I don't know which one it's going to be. I like Fraser River a whole lot. You like Dhaka a whole lot. I think we're going to get a great game either way. Looking at some of the chat right now, are you wanting to bet $100, Doctor, that someone wins? I'll wait for you to respond, but yeah, this is gonna be a good game. So either it's gonna be Dhaka or Fraser River. That's the only 2 maps left in the map pool. There are several civs that are not available to be played. The civ that Hazza's team banned, Hazza banned ports for the Grills. They're not able to play ports, while Hazza is not able to play Japan. Yeah, it looks like Absolutely might be getting the $40 out. Yeah, so we see, I don't think Axemen or Total Chaos. I don't know. I need to write down for the future, especially in a long series like this. I need to write down what civilizations each team won with, so that we make sure it's all good to go. But yeah, we're gonna get in game number 5 shortly. This is such a good series. I am really excited that it went really well. If you guys were around for the last 3v3 tournament, every single match in the whole series was a best of 3, and no game went to game 3. So it's a lot closer in this tournament. I'm glad to see it.
Just imagine though, so that there are a mixture of high-ranked players and low-ranked players as well. Just imagine if you had like a show match between a 3v3 Colonel matchup, or Colonel slash and higher. We saw how Hazza was a class above Axemen and Total Chaos, as you would expect, really. But just that last game just really showed that just the difference between those 2 players, and Hazza managing to keep his eco alive while continuously training Strelets. Axeman started to lose his eco instead of really kind of growing throughout. So that's just a bit of change between experience and skill level, which is to be expected. That's the point of the Snake Draft, is to mix some of the high players with the low players, and to make a tournament fair. When you have the highest as a high player, Hazza, you need to mix it with some other team players, to be put politely. I've got to say though, Ironic Virus has come back really strong in his 3v3 so far. He's actually put in some decent performances.
Yeah, some decent performances. Ironic Virus in the last 3v3 tournament was a finalist, so he definitely has some good team gameplay out. And after this, stick around. For anyone curious, I want to shout out ESOC real quick. They do have a match going on between Optimus Prime and Keister right now. I appreciate the support for the 3v3 tournament, but I do want to let you know it is there. ESOC and JaiLeD, myself, has been working really closely together, and I really appreciate it. It does look like Fraser River is the map pick, so Dhaka is the only one not picked or banned in this map pool. That's a shame for you. I know you would have liked to see that.
I know. Looks like the score on the other side, currently 1-0 to Optimus Prime. They're about to load into... they're also playing on Fraser River 1v1, so if any of you guys want some 1v1 action, check that out after this game. hoping this game doesn't turn into another 50-minute, 1-hour slog. But if it does, well, we're in it for the long haul.
Yeah, additionally, for anyone curious, I will be releasing the signups and information on the next tournament at the end of this game. It's going to be really exciting. I think a lot of you guys will like it. It is going. I've been listening to the viewers, and I have been. I want this stream, this community, this everyone to be. I want to be a man of the people. Whatever you guys want, that's what I want to give you. So I've been listening to it, and I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be back just a second. Going to grab some water and get prepared for this next game.
And then it's just me. What a mistake JAILED has made, leaving me on the unmuted. I get to talk my thoughts and have story time with Harrison on JAILED stream. I wonder how much I can derail this stream. Fraser River, it's a nice map. It reminds me of not ESOC, it reminds me of RE Rockies, a game where it's like an outer circle of snowy cliffs, where on the inside is a high resource valley of lots of hunts, mine, and treasures. It's a 2x2 trading route as well, so a nicely designed map, but due to the nature of it, sometimes the resource spawn is not exactly the best, and you don't have too many resources nearby, so it's probably why it fell out of favour and wasn't included in the RE standard maps. But Fraser River is a reimagination of it in the team game. 3 safe hunts and 2 safe coin mines. Kind of favours the semi-FF playstyle. Probably every single team member will go into the third age at a very early time. 3 TPs per valley as well, and those middle ponds could be some cheeky dock play if the game goes super late. It's always nice to see. But we usually see both teams expanding down to the valley and many town centres being dropped. And the last game we casted, there was a bit of colonial military play, but it eventually ended up into a mass H4 kind of game with lots of raiding and playing, and it could be a long one. I'm in for a long one.
Yeah, it can be long. We did see on this map specifically, I did take out Team Hazza. My team took out Team Hazza with some early aggression. It's one of the few times where on a map that is easily wallable like this, where I've seen aggression work really well, but our team went Spain, China, and Dutch and just totally cheesed the synergy between those. We had super fast training pikes and expo, and then we also had the team house populations. We had the team infantry HP from Dutch. It was just really, really nice, and we starved them of resources. They had no natural resources, and they had a really rough time. So Team Hazza, the only other game they lost in this whole tournament outside of this match was versus that on Fraser River. So we'll see if something similar is picked up by Hawkgirl if they do heavy aggression, but I don't expect that. I expect to be a little bit more boom heavy.
Yeah, you were certainly carried hard at that game. I do remember tuning in towards the end of that, thinking, this is going quite well. Just your teammates holding down the fort of the military, and you're just booming behind as Spain with 0 military pop, and then eventually rush in with like quad-carded lancers to save the day and taking all the glory yourself.
Yeah, the Lancers were excellent versus so we had pretty much all infantry. So the opponents went double skirmishers and I think cavalry, and Lancers just completely wrecked them. It was a joy to play. It's one of my favorite games. It's probably a game I'm gonna remember the rest of my life, or at least for a very long time. I'm definitely proud of that.
You have it on your little wall behind you, or your curtain behind you, and you say, right, I beat Hazza this date, signed by you. And then next to Hazza is, I beat Harrison in the 1v1, this date, signed. And yeah, you'll be starting to record all the big scalps you're taking off the scene.
Yeah, I might even upload that game, the 1v1 to YouTube or something. I might be able to publicize that a little bit more.
I mean, like, honestly, like, was it a great game? It was all right. Do your viewership want to see mediocre 1v1 gameplay? Probably not. They're going to stick to the 3v3, where it was somehow a major. I I still don't see it, but I have to trust your team knowledge. That carries you for the day. Oh, you're currently captain 28. Yeah, stay a captain. Makes me feel better at least. Well, I mean, okay, if you're major, no, it makes me feel better if I lost to a much higher ranked player in terms of PR.
Yeah.
You know, that was a fun game. We should do some more at a later time.
Yeah, perhaps. I definitely have the advantage with Civ advantage, and I think my game plan was good on that game. Obviously, there's other things that could have improved though. For anyone curious, there is a lot of differences between 1v1 and 3v3. One of the biggest things is that micro is much more important when it comes to 1v1. At a high level of 3v3, micro becomes really important, but until you get to high level, there's a lot of other things that matter more, such as your macro, your game plan, your game sense, your build order. All of those matter a lot, and obviously in 1v1 build order matters a whole lot. Strategy, your game sense matters a lot, but in teams it tends to last longer, so you need to your build order and your game plan and your strategy needs to extend to later on into the game. So it's definitely different types of games, but you know, to each their own. Yeah.
I've just cracked open a Corona beer for the last game. It should be a celebration moment as well. So I'll be raising a toast to another successful tournament. So on the horizon, we have your Basements tournament. Was that the name you called it? The Basements tournament?
It was, the first one was 3v3 loyal tournament. The second one is the 3v3 jail tournament. And I am going to I'm gonna sneak peek one of the words for the next tournament. It is called a jackpot tournament. So it should be pretty exciting. Gonna have a lot of really interesting things that you guys are gonna like a whole lot. Looking at the civs, we do have them. It is Brits, Germans, and Dutch versus Russia, Otto, and Sioux. This is interesting. Okay, so one thing to note is that Team Hazza, almost every single time they have had Ottomans, they have revolted. So that is a possibility. It is not Hazza carrying it, or not Hazza using it currently. But Bow Riders, Abus, also very, very strong unit composition. Could also go something like, I don't know, Bow Riders, Abus, and Strelitz would actually be pretty decent. Bow Riders is enough to deal with any cav coming at you. Maybe not double cav, but yeah, Abus and Strelitz is going to win against any composition that the opponent goes with. Any infantry composition that the opponent goes with.
Also need to remember this is on the ESOC patch as well, so the Sioux have some better economic options than they normally would do as well. And I actually think that the Sioux are in a very strong position at the moment, having a 5 villager card in the second age, have access to economic Sioux TPs, that's the TEE, not the trading posts. Great Hunter in the second age, 25% hunting, adoption in the third age, cheaper town centers, 400 wood town centers as well for Sioux in the third age, because they already have the population from their Civ bonus. So Sioux have a lot of options which help their eco in 1v1, but also greatly help them in the team game. And Bow Riders, not as strong as RE counterparts, but still hold their own. And if you keep the Bow Riders behind your line of Strelets and maybe Janabus or just Janissaries, certainly can deal with any cavalry charging with their good range attack, high rate of fire, good multipliers. But I actually think Hazza will be trying to get to like some sort of the third age and go for like an age. Well, could it go age 4 and just go champion Bow Riders, dog soldier, dancing? We'll have to find out.
Yeah, a lot of different things. We see, based on the civilizations, a little bit of a different game plan from the two teams. Dutch and British, really good boom civilizations. On the other hand, the other team has Sioux, which, as you were saying, if you compare it to RE, RE has a very low eco for their Sue, and the bow riders are very good. On EP, the bow riders are a little bit worse, but their eco is significantly better. So I agree, they're one of the best team civilizations in the game on EP. They have a very, very strong eco without having to devote a whole lot of extra resources such as banks or manors. Their boom is it's okay, but their eco just grows stronger and stronger over the course of the game, and the bow riders are still very good unit. Not quite as OP, but still very good.
Yeah, so when we get into that transition from the first stage to the second stage, I'll be very curious to see what kind of deck that Hazza has in plan for the Seuss civilization. We may see some cards that you won't normally see when you'll be watching streams on TV or JAILED's 3v3 streams. So it'll be interesting to see what Hazza's come up with. This is probably the first time I've seen Sue being played in a 3v3 at a very high level on this latest patch. So we may even see the TP factory card in the 4th age, Infinite 20 Bisons, Great Hunter, plenty of possibilities.
Yeah, I'm gonna pause. Let me pause. The mines are not quite fair. It favors Team Hazza up to Hawk Girl or the Grills to or not.
It's essentially John Raphael missing his second mine, or the second mine spawning off the plateau.
Yeah.
But that's awkward enough as it is.
Yeah,
One in a 3v3.
yes, but I
I
think specifically in this game it could become really important because I expect the Grills to play a little bit more defensively. They're going to I think that's a good choice. Additionally, this mine is extremely far back, and I think that's fine. I had to give the option because that can be very game changing, especially British don't need it necessarily quite as much, but yeah.
Nah, certainly fair call there though. Especially when you say at least give the option. That's usually the thing. The amount of times on these, I've given players the option to rehost. I'm like, you really should listen to me. You should rehost this. And Maito's like, you know what? Nah, I'll play this. And he goes, hey, where's my back hunt gone? I'm like, don't look at me. Don't look at me.
Yeah, it's I don't like to re-games. I've watched some of I paid very close attention to every single mine and starting hunt on these maps. And there's been a few that definitely favored one team or the other, but that's the first time where I've actually called it. I think with the civilizations and with the expected game plan from the teams, just starting with one less mine that is on the plateau, it could play a very big role in that game. So I wanted to definitely offer that.
Such a nice lad you are. What can I say?
So we're going to get into game number 5 shortly between the Grills and Team Hazza. It is 2-2 apiece. This is the 3v3 JAILED Tournament Finals. This is JAILED casting, Harrison co-casting. I appreciate you so much for sticking throughout all of this. I really appreciate your casting, Harrison.
Yeah, I'm struggling here. What time is it? 8 p.m. for me now. So I started at 3. It's been 5 hours now. But hopefully, this last game will last this side of 60 minutes. If it goes past 60 minutes, I might be a bit of like, that was a bit of a whoopsie moment. But what can I say? Saving myself for the 3v3 final. I'm glad I didn't start at an earlier point. Like, hey, can I cast every single round robin game with you? Because I'd probably be run out of 3v3 hype. But it's nice in small doses. From a 1v1 player, 3v3 is nice in small doses. I have to say that.
I'm glad you enjoy it, Harrison, I'm glad casting at least in small doses. Yeah.
Oh, no. I'm enjoying casting this 3v3. Do not get me into the game though. Like I just about managed to survive the time playing with Meathus and some muskets, and that was an interesting experience which I possibly would not want to replicate anytime soon.
I think you might enjoy the next tournament that's coming up. It's gonna be exciting. Stay tuned till after this game to have it be completely released. I will release signups along with the information on it, and you guys, I think you'll be really excited for it. All right, so we are into game number 5 between the Grills and Team Hazza. I'm going to confirm that the map spawn was very close to fair. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to call that as fair. What do you think? It is worth noting that this mine is definitely closer to the TC. You can see it. It also is a little bit easier to wall, being between cliffs in the opening, and it's not in the previous match. It was basically a TC there and then a mine on the other side of the cliff. So what do you think? Do you think we need to offer the re? I don't think we do, but I'm open. I'm all ears. Are you here, Harrison? Okay, I suppose Harrison's not here. All right, so I don't think I'm going to read this. I think it's close enough to fair. I don't like ring too much. Players should be able to adapt to the map a little bit as long as it's not so incredibly unfair. I think it's going to be fine. So this is game number 5 between the Grills and Team Hazza. We have Dutch, British, and Germany versus Sioux, Russia, and Ottomans. I'm really excited for this game. It is 2 games apiece. If game 3 and game 4 were a indication, well, all of these, if they're an indication of what this game is going to be like, it's going to be really exciting on the seat of your chair and a really close game all the way through.
It's so on the seat of your chair that I'm going to be right back for a couple of minutes. Dinner's served, so I'll be eating spaghetti bolognese in the time that you'll be casting.
All right. Also, after this match, I will be casting the very next ESOC match in roughly 55 minutes. So hopefully this doesn't last too long. I don't think it will. There's also the ESOC match, the current one between Optimus Prime and Keister is being played right now, and they start a little bit late, so it might go late itself. But yeah, we have the Grills versus Team Hazza. This is going to be a really, really close game, I think. It is. I definitely think with the civilizations from Team Hazza, they're going to put some early aggression out. We'll see what they do. We definitely know that on this map, denying the natural resources outside of the plateau can be a really good way to win. You get 2 hunts, 2 mines for each starting TC, and then that's basically it. You get 2 hunts, 2 mines, and then you get out on the rest of the map in the valley, if you will. You get 2 hunts, 2 mines spawn over here in team games. 2 hunts, 2 mines spawn over here, and then a myriad of hunts and mines on this side, and then on this side also a myriad of hunts and mines. So it is going to be pretty close. We'll see if the denying natural resources works for Team Hazza or if they're going to go for something else entirely. Let's take a look at the decks real quick. It's important to note there is not 8 Hussar, although if your teammates are feeding you in a revolt, it's not always super necessary. Looking at Sue's deck, it has several H2 cards, a few H3 cards, or several H3 cards. Yeah. Looking at Russia's deck, it also is H2 and H3 focused. That's what Ottoman's is itself. He does have all of the Avis cards, which is interesting. I think it might be Cossack, or it's either going to be Strelitz or Cossacks from Russia. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Bow Riders, and then Avis. Janissary Strelitz is also an option. Looking at Dutch's deck here, we see there is the 8 pikemen, 9 Reuter, and 2 heavy cannons, and no other military shipments for him. British has 4 military shipments himself, 6 musketeers, 10 longbowmen, 2 falconets, and 3 rockets. Germany has several military shipments though, so going to be interesting how this game plays out. We do see forward villagers out from Total Chaos currently. We see that Hazza and Axemen are also sending forward villagers. Some early walling coming out from the Grills, although no walling currently in the middle of that, but it appears John Raphael is doing that now. A little bit of walling out from Hawk Girl. He is able to wall that in. One thing to note is there might still be openings in the cliff. That might be an opening right there. It's hard to know without being in the game. In a previous match, I saw that there was there was an opening like that, and it affected the game greatly. It was in a 1v1. But yeah. Are you around? You are, okay, go ahead.
I am around, actually, yeah. It's interesting looking at the decks. It looks like the German player does not have Germantown Farmers. It looks like Hazza does not have Infinite 20 Bison in Age 4, which would be quite nice for him or for teammates as well, really. But yes, they were going aggressive here. Team Hazza putting together. But a couple of walls here, maybe a double layer wall would be quite nice. You can see Axeman's Explorer trying to siege down the wall, try and get some damage down. Also block off any secondary wall here. 4 axes first from Hazza. A good shipment from the Sioux player. You don't necessarily need to go with eco shipments like 700 wood because they age up with the 400 wood and they don't need houses. But 5 Cossacks, 4 axe riders. Total Chaos sends in 700 wood, but it looks like the Ottoman player here wants to go for TPs. Notice how he's stealing the enemy's trading posts and trying to basically get his team a 5-1 trading post advantage.
Yeah, we see it is 5. Wait. Oh no, this is okay. This is Ironic Virus's TP. I was a little bit confused there. It is 4 TPs going up for Team Hazza, and only 1 for the Grills team, and they are in with units already. So we definitely need the Grills definitely need to be able to get units out quick enough to defend this. We see it is 2 banks out for Hawk Girl, so not going too heavy into boom. I like that. Germany sends 2 Saddle Wagons, 3 Saddle Wagons. That's okay. Definitely going to need to follow up with a lot of units though.
Couldn't even go 700 woods for double racks bow pike to defend, but maybe needs to send 8 bows straight away. 6 musketeers being sent from John Raphael to defend from this axe rider Cossack, and there's a lot of heavy cavalry already on the field for Hazza's team, and Hazza's just going to go into one player's base thinking, okay, you've got quite a few musketeers, I'm just going to move on to another player's base. I'm going to pick off 2 Vil kills here. Dutch, they do have their market down, but it's not often they go for an early greatcoat. And 4 Vils going down, that hurts. That is the same amount of eco as 1 bank. So, that is just as simple as scouting those Vils up and keeping those Vils alive has put the Dutch player in a very difficult position.
Yeah, definitely, and we see that in the midst of that, though, we see that the rest of the army is pushed back from Team Hazza. So while he's getting kills, doing economic damage, it is not going to. It's not. They lose the main fight because of that. Although the Ulan coming in here, this is really big. That's a lot of axe. Axe are really, really strong. Ulan not so much, and they actually clean up the Ulan. Really good Maiko from Hazza there. Musketeers coming over too. That's 4 axe left alive. Only 1 on really low HP. The chief is about to go down though on 0 HP currently. 1 HP, sorry. Yeah, it's that's some really good gameplay from the girls. They have defended it. They do have a stronger economies currently. Military advantage definitely over Team Hazza. We'll see if they are able to push with this though. We'll see if the defender's advantage is enough for the grills.
But you can see Hazza's play style here. He's gone for the raid, but behind this he sent 5 Vil Great Hunter. That's as boomy as Sioux can really go. Great Hunter, 25% bonus on your hunting and berry gathering. They have the TPs down behind this as well. He's complaining about lag and wars, but welcome to 3v3, my friends. That is a staple of any Age of Empire 3 game. But look at this, even Stagecoach on Hawk Girl's own trading route. The disrespect on this from Team Hazza of capturing your enemy's trading routes and then even upgrading it for them.
Yeah, well done from them. It's I'm very disappointed that that the AoE 3 that AoE 3 lags as much as it does. I really hope with DE, Definitive Edition, coming out fairly soon, I hope, hopefully sometime this year, that some of that will be fixed. I can't wait for that. It does look like a really good mass out from the Grills. They, in fact, have the military population advantage. We'll see if they're able to push out here, though. It looks like they have a strong... they have a pretty strong eco. They're not out of hunts and mines yet. All of their hunts are running fairly low. And it looks like... Okay, it looks like Team Hazza is moving around, making sure that the opponents are not gathering from the hunts and mines safe over... or relatively safer over here.
Interesting card choice from Arak Varus. 3 Settler Wagon, 5 Ulan, then 3 Doppels. This is probably the first time I've ever seen 5 Ulan be sent as card number 2 in the second age, and even sending a shipment like 700 coin gives you 2 Ulans as well. So I don't think they're under so much pressure, but he needed the 5 Ulan shipment, but did catch a few of those Axe Riders from Hazza. Looks like Hazza managed to lose the remainder due to the pike and waller situation, but Total Chaos, massive Janissaries. He does have an artillery foundry down, but no Avis guns in the field just yet. And looks like he's just going. Looks like Strelitz is the play of choice from Axeman, but I think now they've seen the amount of musketeers and skirmishers out from Hawk Girl and John Raphael. Total Chaos is now going to be switching into Avis guns behind this.
Yeah, I think that's a really good choice. Double infantry from your opponent. You have bow riders on your side. You definitely want to get some Abus out. Abus are one of the very best skirmisher type units in the game. We'll see how many villagers have gone down here. It looks like the raids from Ironic Virus has picked off 3 villagers so far. On the other side, 5 down for Hot Girl, 2 for Ironic Virus himself. So I like the choice. Ulan have very high attack, very low HP, which makes them exceptional at raiding, although maybe not quite as ideal when it comes to big fights.
Ironic Virus in the 3rd age now, so it looks like this team imagined to kind of age behind this. The British player aging up as well, but I feel that the British player aging is a step too far, actually. I'm not too sure what actual benefits are going to come out of this, especially in the face of so many military units. The German player could even go for the Jaeger shipment. I saw Jaegers in his deck, and Jaegers here will be very, very strong, actually, in the face of all these Janissaries and Strelets, and try and camp behind the wall. You have Musketeers as your kind of heavy infantry to scare away this Axe Rider play, but has a double-carded cav behind this of both the Axe Riders and maybe a few bows as well, but training more Axe Riders. Hawk Girl just massing skirmishers here, and there is a risk that actually Hawk Girl's team is about to get overrun. There's a lot of military population here, 140 to 90 at the moment.
Yeah, there's a decent amount of Strelets there, but that does not make up the difference in the effective military population. It does look like the Grills are maybe caught out a little bit. They're expecting it to come, the fight to come in to Hot Girl, into Jean Raphael here, but they do in fact push on the left. They're taking down this gate, affording them an opportunity to escape. I do like that the reinforcements are being picked up here by Hot Girl, though. That's really nice. When you have a military disadvantage, just picking up the reinforcements is a really, really good start to evening the odds.
Hazza is aware, though, that the German player has to be kind of out in that lower valley gathering resources. These 4 Janissaries do confirm that the majority of those settler wagons and villagers are moving back towards the base and probably moving towards the British players starting resources. And actually, now we're at 13 minutes. It feels like most of the civs are starting to run out of natural resources. Only 1 coin mine remaining for Ironic Virus. Enough coins to go for the Jaegers behind this, but maybe a little bit slow, actually. He has 1 war wagon in queue, and looks like he sent 3 war wagons first card. So
I like this. Re-walling in the middle of a fight, that is really, really good. As long as these skirmishers don't get caught out, that might mean the difference between winning this fight and not. It's going to allow reinforcements to not be directly sent into the fight. It makes you not only have the defender's advantage, but have it by a landslide. We'll see if they're able to do a whole lot, though. We're going to look at that shipment sent real quick. 8 skirmishers sent by Ironic Virus. So he is doing a lot with his age 3. We see all 3 of them in age 3. We see that Axeman is the first one going... Wait, what?
Yeah, it's tough, to be honest. Like, all in the age 3. Hazza's mass is going down. There's veteran skirmishers out in the field for Hawk Girl, and they're kind of trapped. And they were trying to go for this aggressive play style, but it hasn't worked. And those Colonial Janissaries were looking a little bit shaky there at base. I still feel that in the final game you can try to play on a little bit longer, but possibly an anticlimactic game there. They did have 4 TPs to 0. It wasn't fully out at this point, but I guess Auric Virus gets us to the next stage. Maybe Hazza's team were not fully appreciative of the fact that Hawk Girl's team were drastically running out of in-base resources and would have had to push out themselves. But maybe Total Chaos going for Janissaries was probably not the right call this game.
Yeah, I would have liked to see more Abus. I think it was fine to start with it, but once you get 10, 15 out, then probably switch once you see what your opponent has. We do see that the rating out from Ironic Virus was really huge. I don't believe I can see... Yeah, I can't see that. I can go to villager population for you guys and see how much the players dropped in villagers. Not a whole lot. Hazza lost a couple. Just a couple there, but yeah, really well done from the Grills. They take game number 5. I was not expecting it to go quite like this, but we see that Team Hazza were relying on the early aggression, and the Grills were able to defend it in a spectacular fashion. Their economy at the end was about 124 to 100. So definite advantage to the Grills, and they had age advantage. I can understand the reasoning in resigning there. We can look at some of the scores real quick for you guys. It was 116, 125, 127 versus 162, 181, and 138. So every single one of the Grills team every single one of their players was ahead. So that was a good game. Really well played from the Grills, and they take it.
They take the game and they also take the championship as well. So I guess it's the time we have to say the congratulations to Team Hawk Girl and the team members of John Raphael and Ironic Virus. And I was not expecting this team to be the team winning the championship in total, shall I say, especially after losing the first 2 games. But I guess the reverse sweep happened. They dug in deep and came back. And yeah, in the end, though, about a 2.5-hour series. Fair play.
Yeah, definitely fair play. The reverse sweep, like you were saying, that was amazing. The Grills take game 3, game 4, and game 5 after Team Hazza had taken game 1 and 2. The Grills were on match point every single game, game 3, game 4, and game 5, and they came away with it. Under pressure, they performed super well. I'm excited to see this. It is a 3-2 series win, then the championship win for the Grills. Give it up for them. If I can, I would like to get into chat with them and discuss with them. Are you going to want to stick around for any of that, Harrison?
Yes, I can. I'm currently eating some food in the background, but I'll hop in and hop out if I need to ask a question. But yeah, you take the lead. I may be around.
All right, I'm going to ask them real quick. Let's see if I can get a little bit of, just a little bit of chatting from them. While we are doing that, while I'm getting them ready, I want to show you guys the next tournament. All right, so next tournament, I do intend to have a decent amount of tournaments on this channel. I intend to change it up every now and then, and just make it really interesting. I don't want it to get old, the same old all the time. So yeah, it's really exciting for me. If you guys have been sticking around, we've been doing a lot of rolling random civs, and during this tournament, it has been random maps also. Yeah, so what the next tournament is a 2v2 jackpot tournament. In the tournament, every team can sign up for themselves. They can sign up with their own team players. There is not a limit on the PR. Each team can only have a maximum of 4 different players. but I will get that to you in just a moment. I'm going to release the forms, and I am also shortly going to, not today, but release it as soon as I can. Once it is finished, I'm going to release an announcement video and a little bit of a hype video for it. Here is the next, the signups for it if you guys are curious. It's a 2v2 jackpot tournament. The information is on there. Anyone and everyone is welcome to sign up. There is a small buy-in just to make sure that people can, just to make sure that people take it seriously. But yeah, that's the next tournament. And we have everyone in here for the interview. Congratulations, guys. You guys did excellent. It was really exciting to watch you guys play.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, after being down 2-0, we were a little bit, and we weren't really playing that well, so we were a little bit nervous, but, you know, just on to the next game. And I think we kind of had a little bit better strategies, like, after the first 2 games. So I think we kind of figured if we could, like, kind of try to drag the games out a little bit, then we'd have a better chance. Because, like, if you notice, the first 2 games were over pretty quickly, but then the second 2 games that we won, we kind of dragged it out a little bit, and I think, like, late game we had a little bit of a better chance. So
Yeah. What was y'all's favorite game during that whole series?
probably the 3rd or the 4th game, because those were, in my opinion, I think the 2 best games. I think they were the 2 closest games. So.
Yeah, the Cascade range for me, I'd say, because that was like, even going to Imperial, it's always fun when that happens on such a low resource map. But the first game was just like, we didn't have any plan, we didn't do anything, like we had such a like weird strategy, and we didn't scout them, so I just made banks instead of units, which was bad. So,
Yeah.
yeah. The reverse sweep was nice.
Yeah, that was exciting. You guys were losing quite a bit of villagers to Oprichniks and Hussar raids. Were you guys really concerned about winning that game?
I mean, we were pretty far ahead, like, score-wise, so we kind of felt like, you know, obviously, you know, losing a vill or 2 here is not, or there is not a big deal, as long as we could continue to, like, push them off, like, because that map, you'll see there's, like, a lot of mines and stuff in the middle, so, like, as long as we could, like, push them off the mines, and then obviously, you know, not lose, like, our entire eco to Opries, we kind of felt like we'd be okay, because we were also like I was Ashy raiding blue and Hazza most of the game, or for a lot of the game, and so, and we kind of felt like late game we kind of had better, like, we'd have a better chance late game because we had and better civs.
Yeah, you certainly raided the French player of Axeman out of the game there. That was really good play. I think you may have also sieged down a town centre, which was age into the 4th age. So whether that was a cancellation of an age up from Axeman or you actually denied the age up there, that was very nice to play. I mean, I saw the ashes in the background in Hazard's eco, but guys, though, cheesing a major general by knocking down his blockhouse, that was so pivotal.
Yeah, that's it. Kind of like,
I think that was like a turning point in the series, because when you get a little bit of like top player tilt, it's always a good sign. And we were planning pretty early in that game that we should have all our guys near the Russia base and just siege it down. So yeah, that definitely gave us a lot of time in the beginning.
Yeah, that was every single match, I believe. Harrison and I tried to pinpoint the key point of that match, and I think that was that for that match. You guys taking down the blockhouse nearly 3 times, basically having to repair the full amount for the 3rd blockhouse. That was really well played by y'all.
yeah, just it bought us so much time to be able to, like, you know, not have to ship 5 Ashy first, or, you know, not have to, like, ship Pikeman second for Dutch, and it was just really good, I think, to be able to just have, like, an extra minute to be able to kind of do what we wanted before their units were in our eco.
Yeah,
And
But,
even the Dutch player could go 700 wood first card. I was saying to Jared that if this was a normal game and that blockhouse was up in a good time, you'd be expecting that your first card, Bank Wagon, the 400 wood on the age up, barracks and 2 houses. But no, you managed to buy enough time to go 700 wood and then drop the production on that wood there and have even more banks out in the field. And at the start of that game, a little bit shaky when they were pressing in, but actually, I think it was probably Ironic Virus actually holding the line as Hawkgirl went to the third age and kept you guys in it for quite a while, and then bought time for Hawkgirl to get the eco going and then push back out for the win.
Yeah, I was asking them if I was being able to age, and I asked them, "Do you think I should age?" And they were like, "Yeah, you can age." And then they pushed with all of their units, and they're like, "No, don't age, don't age." And I was like, already up. So I think maybe it would have been better to stage 2 there and just have like 10 or 15 more husks, but I'm not sure.
Well, we got really good value from the skirms, and then they basically deleted their most of their army to kill Falks. So
Yeah,
then we knew that we were fine.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
That you guys played it excellent. That was such an exciting game. I really was glad that the whole match went to 5 and it wasn't like a stomp by either team. After game number 2, I was a little bit concerned that it would be like that. What do you guys think of what was game number 3 was on Malaysia? Yeah. What was your favorite? What was the defining points of that game for you?
Probably. So we saw that port was gonna go water. So Hot Girl, we decided we tried to play like a little aggressive, and Hot Girl did a really good job like hiding his stable and hiding houses, and then raiding on one side of the map. And then because of that, me and Ironic Virus were able to catch out a lot of Hazza skirms and kill like 12 skirms for free. And then at that point, they were just kind of on the back foot like the entire game. So we were able to like take map control, which is super important on that map because the mine wise you have to move out pretty early. So
I've got to say though, Hawkgirl, the total disrespect you showed Hazza, stealing his trading post under his nose, taking the full advantage that you knew because it was not a wood start. Nobody on their team could go a train post age 1, and you just put a TP under their nose, and it was there for the entire game. Hazza probably must have forgot about it and just never actually sieged it down. I couldn't believe it stayed up the entire game.
yeah, I mean, he could maybe siege it with 8 pikes or something, but I told myself I didn't want to go stagecoach because if I did, then he would definitely kill it, and then he would just get a free stage TP. But yeah, it was nice with the XP, I guess.
I really like that game, Hot Girl, how you didn't start with C. You started with raiding, keeping the opponents on the back foot the whole time, and then adding C as it transitioned into the mid game, and then you guys just kind of took the game from there.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like an interesting thing to go Cav versus Cav, Ottoman against French, because like I'm having my Cav so much faster than he does, so I can idle him, and then he can't ship 8 pikes or something. He can only ship 3 husks or 8 bows, neither of which is very good against Cav. So I just idle him and then never really let go of the pressure.
That's a good point. I hadn't thought of that specifically. Ottoman can get units out really fast. Anything else you guys want to say before we get out of the interview?
Yeah, I'll just say thank you to you, Jill, for organizing this. I don't know if it would have been possible if people weren't stuck in their homes because of coronavirus. But anyways, yeah, thank you for organizing. It's been fun.
Yeah, I'm really happy that it went so well and that everyone was pretty much happy with all of the matches and it went really well. I'm really grateful for the support from the whole community and from the players in the tournament itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a small community, but there's there's a lot of people who really care a lot. So it's really nice to see like community events like this put on by people investing their time into improving the game that they love. So it's really cool.
Yeah. Are you guys gonna be around for the next tournament? Possibly. It's a 2v2 tournament where everyone can sign up with pre-selected teams if they so decide to.
Yeah, I just heard like the explanation when I joined the Discord. So what's a jackpot turn? You don't have to. I'll just read up if you explain it already.
I did send a link. I will be releasing the information in other areas such as ESOC forums and also the Discord. But it's basically random civilizations, random maps, and 2v2. Everyone's able to sign up as a team. So it should be pretty interesting. And it's all going to be, well, most of it's going to be best of fives. The final's going to be a best of seven. But yeah, it should be really interesting, and it should allow for some very intriguing games, allowing for players that are all, more or less a jack of all trades, master of no civ, or master of very few, to do really, really well. So it should be interesting.
Yeah, definitely gonna look at that as well for sure.
All right, you guys have a good one. I am going to sign off. I'm going to send you guys over to ESOC. I appreciate all of your support. If you guys have any more questions about tournaments, you can message me on Discord. Go below my channel and press Discord. You can also message me on Twitch. You can additionally go to additionally, if you have any questions about Age of Empires, myself, the streaming, the tournament, like I already said, go ahead and ask away. You guys have a good one. I am going to send you over to ESOC.
Yeah, thanks. Have a good one, guys.
All right, have a good one. Thanks. Well played, guys. See you.
See you.
See you.
And goodbye from me, I guess. Hi, JaiLeD.
Bye. I appreciate the co-casting. I really don't think this would have been as professional and good of a cast without you. I appreciate you a lot.
Nah, the chats can only tolerate so much of the John Cena hype that you provide, so I thought I'd come in to balance this out and rein you in.